I don't see how we can make bigger enemies.
To be offended or frightened of everything.
So you've become like the sort of Tony Scarface of podcasting.
We're good? Ladies and gentlemen, happy Canada Day. Woo-hoo. If you are celebrating today and you're in Canada and you're at the Parliament, enjoy yourself. If you are in Quebec, happy moving day. Enjoy moving today. Patreon.com/Pantelis. Support the nation because the greater nation doesn't want to support its creators. The government, with these bills, is really hating on us, which is why patreon.com/Pantelis exists. Even if they force us off YouTube, we'll be there, I guess. Mr. George Jiggity Jiggity Chandrizos is joining us today, live and in studio, to bring us the hard-hitting news from his communist comrades up on Parliament Hill. George, host of Just Us Dads, welcome.
How's it going?
I'm good. I heard rumors that today... The first rumor I heard was that today is Canada Day.
It's a rumor. It's a rumor indeed.
It's a rumor. And
It
second
sounds
one I heard
different.
is...
Did something change?
Yeah, everything changes. They have a new system.
Oh,
it's crazy. You don't even
fuck.
need the headphones, really, because you're
Yeah.
right in front of me. But so I heard that flags are banned on Parliament Hill.
I saw
It
a
seems
tweet.
like an internet
I
rumor.
saw a tweet. Was it you that retweeted it or someone else that retweeted from the Ottawa Police?
Yeah.
The conditions that have to
Yeah.
be met in order to go celebrate for Canada Day.
Yeah. No
You know,
loud noises.
You know, back in the day,
No odd noises.
You know, back in the day, we just jumped in the car, drove to Ottawa, and just fucking partied, and
Yeah.
we celebrated Canada, man.
But now if you want to celebrate Canada Day...
Now there's a checklist, you know.
no loud noises, no weird noises.
Yeah,
which
weird- what is that?
What is a weird noise? I mean, some people...
Like, how do you go
it's just how they talk,
celebrate?
but-
How do you celebrate?
Hi
without-
guys! Like, arrest that fucking weirdo!
How do you?
Like,
How do you celebrate without yelling or screaming or?
Yeah, saying-
Like what's that?
there was no singing.
Yeah,
no
like what
chanting.
defines a noise? Is it like people yelling or like some idiot coming
No
with
yelling was
loudspeakers?
another. No yelling was another one.
Yeah.
So there was no yelling. There's no weird noises. The weird noises thing got me. It's hilarious because it's very vague, like definition wise. No weird noises. And then I heard they said you're not allowed to have flags because it's a choking hazard. Is that real? I feel like it's like an exaggerated internet thing. There's no way you could ban a
No
flag.
flags because it's a choking hazard. You're going to celebrate Canada Day. Will you not be waving a Canada flag?
But that's what I'm saying. That's why I feel like, is it just a misunderstood thing and people went with it? I thought you would know.
I don't know anything, and honestly, I'm going to tell you guys. The last year
Yeah.
has been just struck with weird things happening that I just can't explain. I
Oh.
do not get it.
George, you're black pilling, it's called. You
Black
realize.
pilling.
Yeah.
No,
You're,
no, it's-
you're
it's-
becoming based. You realize it's all
No,
nonsense.
no. We're talking about stuff like this, for example,
Yeah, it's
right?
all
Where
nonsense.
in the past, it was like, what do you mean? Like, just jump in your car, go have fun. It's Canada Day.
Yeah, unless you
Day
have a
for all.
flag, unless you're trying to sing, that's crazy.
So yeah, so the thing is that I understand that from a security perspective, they're expecting a huge group of demonstrators or whatever, which obviously never happened in the past. July 1st was always a very joyful day, right?
yeah, except for the people in Quebec who are moving, it's very tiring.
Yeah, that's true. But then again, Quebec, very few people celebrate Canada Day, so yeah. Maybe not very few. A lot of them
No,
do.
I celebrate Saint Jean and Canada Day. I like them both. It's just
Between the two, though, which one do you prefer?
Saint Jean.
Isn't Saint Jean the best?
Yeah.
Saint Jean just kicks ass.
Well, I'm from Quebec, so it's Saint Jean.
Yeah, but you're also in Canada. I'm assuming
I mean?
you're a Federalist. But between the two holidays, Saint Jean just
Just
kicks
call me a
ass.
Federalist, Bo.
was waiting
You
for
just
it.
call me a federalist, bro. Are you fucking crazy? Are you fucking? Do you not know who you're speaking to?
Just say, in terms of fun and partying, nothing compares to Saint Jean.
No, bro, it never will. But Canada Day, I'm very proud to be Canadian. I'm proud of Canada. I just don't like these weird communist rules of don't put your flag, don't yell, don't sing. It's
yeah,
Canada
this
Day,
is-
dickhead.
I don't get it, and I'm sure that even in the past, during these holidays or these celebrations, there was security because you have to expect some things going down, right? I mean, there's
What does that have
always-
to do with singing and weird noises? Okay, so here's the thing.
No, what I'm saying,
Did he
compare-
really? Can somebody find out? Is this true? It feels fake. That's why I joke about
what?
the flags thing. It can't be real. How do you ban flags?
I don't know. I just saw the tweet from the Ottawa Police
What-
Department.
does that
I
mean
don't
also
remember
Because I
the
still
flags.
think there's a small chance that they're like, there's no flag, whatever. We don't want any at the parade. And George's like, fine, I'm not coming. They're like, no, you misheard. You misheard. We said no flags. And he's
I
like,
was waiting
oh,
for
okay, yeah, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that.
Oh, flags.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with
Yeah,
that.
those are cool.
Yeah.
I'm
No,
down
but
with
I
that.
don't, because it seems too fake. Like he's really pushing his luck. No flags. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
But does that mean all the buildings, also like government buildings, can't have
No, I don't
flags?
think you can reach those.
No, it's
but
just
I'm
'cause
saying,
of choking
someone
it-
walking around with a
Yeah, you're
giant
not supposed
flag.
to have a flag. This is what I read yesterday because the police said it's like you could choke people with it. But if we start going by that, you could choke people with anything.
Yeah, you could.
You
You
could
can
choke
take out your
people with your hands.
shoelaces. You can take your shoelaces out.
Oh, you
and
can
choke
choke
someone.
people with your hands.
Yeah, you could.
Yeah, but that's why I thought it was exaggerated. I was assuming you were gonna tell me this morning it was
I-
some kind of off, like taken out of context.
I didn't
Poseidon?
see that
Yes.
or
Produce,
read that
do
anywhere.
some research. Let's find out if that flag rule
Are
is correct.
flags allowed in Ottawa today?
Yeah.
To go so, but I can understand from a security perspective, and especially with everything they're anticipating that they're trying to mitigate, whatever violence can occur or whatever.
I don't know how that mitigates violence. It's Canada Day, bro.
Yeah, I mean, you're suspecting. Okay, what can be dangerous, right? But a flag, I'm like,
People can
You
be
know?
dangerous.
the guy walks around with a hammer. Are you gonna walk around and check people's pockets?
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
what are you gonna do? I don't know.
I'm with you. That's what I'm saying. It's fucking stupid. You can walk around with a hammer. You could do it. The flag is not. That's why I'm.
There's do's and don'ts.
Okay, I'm listening. What are the do's and don'ts?
But this looks like it's been around for a while. I don't
No,
think
no.
I can't find anything that says
It was all over Twitter. That's why.
20
That's why I thought it was. No, I didn't think it was fake because it was on Twitter. I thought it was fake because it doesn't. It seems
make sense.
too fantastical.
But see, this is what I was saying before. We're in a situation where we just don't know what the hell's going on anymore because we've seen in the past stuff like this that seems incredible.
And then it turns
Actually
out
being
to be
real.
Yeah, yeah. It could be, boys. I mean, it
No
could
flags.
be fucking real. Yeah.
I don't know, man. Are you guys doing anything to celebrate Canada?
Yeah, bro. I live in Canada.
Yeah. Are you doing anything more? Like, are you partying? Are you?
I'm
going?
giving
Are you-
Canada all I got, bro. I'm giving Canada. I'm giving Quebec. I'm giving the world everything I have.
I think it's only fuck Trudeau flags.
Oh, those kind of
No,
flags.
who said that?
Ottawa bans fuck Trudeau flags, Western Standard.
Just fuck
Why
Trudeau
would you
flags?
ban
But isn't
anything?
any Canadian flag a fuck Trudeau flag? This guy doesn't believe in Canada.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Is he back from Europe? I'm guessing he is.
Yeah, it seems like it's only the fuck Trudeau flag at the moment.
Why
That's
would
the
you
only thing I
ban
can
anything?
find.
Like,
That's absurd.
why would you ban?
Yeah.
Like,
Come with an American flag. Be like, we're Americans supporting Canada. I'm cool. Come with a fuck Trudeau flag. Fuck Trudeau. We love Canada. I don't care. You're celebrating Canada. I don't
what if
give
it says fuck Justin? Because like it could be anyone,
a shit.
right?
He didn't ban swastikas.
What do you mean?
Like he just banned fuck Trudeau flags. He didn't ban Nazi paraphernalia.
Make
That's
an
a weird
excellent
thing to
point,
just ban if they're fucking with me. Sir, what if it's a swastika? Yeah, that's all right.
But at the same time, look, as objectively as we can think of it, right? I mean, you're the Ottawa police. You have to maintain some sort of order. It's the
Let's,
biggest
let's
holiday in
try to
Ottawa. I mean, you've been to Ottawa. Nothing happens in Ottawa except for that one day where people come together on the hill and party, which is fun. So you have to control all these things. Isn't it annoying that you have this group that organizes this giant demonstration on Canada Day? Like, doesn't that get under? Like, what the fuck's wrong with these people? Can't you just prove your point on another day? Like,
What point?
and again, you're free to do whatever. We're not talking about, I'm not suggesting here to tell people, fuck off, you're not allowed to demonstrate. That's not the
Bro,
point. But
I've
the point is
learned-
that, I mean, come on, man. Like, they're also pushing buttons too. They know that it's going to be packed with thousands of people, and they're like, you know what? let's pick Canada Day.
Who's
and we're-
they? I don't know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
there's a huge group that is going to demonstrate in Ottawa. That's why
Okay,
there's all these
what's the
security.
group?
I don't know what the group is. It's
But they're allowed to
the-
demonstrate. That's part of
Yeah,
the
there's,
that's part of
the-
democracy.
I think they're linked to the trucker convoy. I mean, there's something having to do with that. So that's why everyone is kind of on high alert.
Yeah, I'm on low,
You
very
had
low alert.
Poilievre. Yeah, you had the Pierre Poilievre already demonstrating with them.
Good.
So whatever, he's doing that.
That's what I want to hear. I want to hear people
But those articles-
demonstrating, protesting,
Wait,
and not setting shit
when
on
is the
fire.
when is the party? Is it today or was it yesterday night?
What party?
The Canada Day celebration.
Today's Canada. It should be today. It's Friday.
No, because there's articles that came out that yesterday there was. Let me just make sure. Oh no, it wasn't for Canada Day. It was the demonstration. The demonstration was yesterday. I take back what I said, but they're expecting some of it to appear again today. Yeah, because yesterday there was some violence with some police officers. Apparently, some guy choked a police officer. There was some.
What did the police officer do to get choked?
There's I don't know, but there's a video circulating, and we don't have
Maybe
to,
it was some kind of
no,
kink.
we don't have to look for it because when things like this come out, everybody's like, yeah, well, the cops usually only show their side and whatever. But there's a full video of what happened, like the whole altercation, and I think the guy was probably drunk. And
You think?
And he picked a fight with a cop.
I got this cop, guys. I watch MMA.
I see a throat. It's wide open.
Yeah.
I mean, you got
This
to.
guy's his guard's down. He doesn't have any guard.
Whatever you think, whoever you are or you think you are, like one thing needs to be understood. Attacking
We
a
don't like
cop.
cops.
Yeah, no, I don't mind cops.
Kean Baxter.
But attacking a cop
Who is this?
is the bad thing to do. Like automatically. Remember the whole thing.
It's the only street gang that you'll lose in court against. You have to be careful, and there's a lot of them. You
No,
take
but
one
these guys-
down, there's another two
Yeah.
ready to take
But these
his
guys
place.
band together like nothing. I mean, you go after a police officer, you
go
have
after
the
all of
oh
them.
my goodness,
Yeah.
you're fucked. Like you don't do that, guys. You know? Don't do it. Like that poor guy, Amadou Camara, what's his name? That got wrongfully.
He didn't even go after the cops. They all attacked him, and then and he was
Yeah,
right.
because once that stupid cop said the guy that pushed me is the guy that I stopped. So they went after that poor guy.
And then after he
got
won,
roughed up, eh?
He got roughed up, and then they harassed him a lot after.
Yeah.
After the whole court thing was over, cops are still being. Ruled
yeah?
That's what I heard, but who knows what's true anymore? I can't
No,
trust
but
anything on the internet.
I read
found,
that
I found the official tweet. I think for it's called Capital Experience. It's instructions basically on what you can carry. Sorry, I cut you off. For Canada Day, I think.
Okay,
So, signs and banners, cardboard and coroplast are allowed, not wood or metal. Maximum size 61 centimeters by 41 centimeters by 1 centimeter thickness. For support, softwood, cardboard, handheld, no metal, hardwood, sharp ends. I don't understand what softwood and hardwood isn't every wood hard.
Poseidon, you've already annoyed me. This is a stupid list. Like you can't show up with sharp metal objects. You mean you don't want us to have swords? I came with my Canadian katana here. Is that not celebratory enough?
But it's a nice
Maybe
spear.
handheld, but may not be affixed to any structure or mast. All signs or banners cannot
no
be
weapons.
left unattended. Messages that are obscene, offensive, or that promotes hatred are prohibited.
How are they even going to monitor that, man? We're talking about
If you catch
tens of
someone, it
thousands
is
of
a flag.
So I think like if you put a Canadian flag on a hockey stick, you're not allowed.
No, you're not. They said you can't.
You're not
No,
allowed.
it has nothing to do with the flag. That's because you're walking around with a hockey stick.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But
Yeah.
you're using it.
Unless you have a ball with you.
No, then you're still not allowed.
Yeah, you are. You just need to have the stick pointed
First of all,
down.
let's
and be like,
understand.
I'm playing
guys,
street hockey.
First of all, nothing is going to happen because I don't know how many people, the number of police officers or whatever security they're going to have. There's going to be tens,
No sporting equipment.
thousands of people. Tens of
Brodigan
thousands of
just
people.
dropped $10 in super chat to remind me that he misses my pretty hair.
Oh.
Oh, when
It
you
has been a while, Brody, but the borders, for now at least, are open. We will collaborate. I will.
Yeah, unfortunately, we can't fly out. What the fuck is happening, man?
We'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, I'm
Wait, what do
gonna.
you mean
You know
you
what? I'm gonna
What
talk
do
a
you
little
mean?
man.
Where do you
prouder.
live, man?
Well,
You
yeah,
go to the
airport.
Organize something.
What do you mean? What's happening?
I've
He's
seen,
like, what's
I've
happening?
seen.
It is absurd.
Yeah.
It is
Saw the
absurd.
picture. DJ Yossi was coming back yesterday from LA, and his story was, bro, it's all the entire. You know where you go pick up your luggage?
Yeah.
The entire
saw
thing,
that.
just suitcases all over the fucking place. I was like, what the fuck's going on? He's like, they're just there for people to pick them up. Like, bro, it's just it's absurd. And I have a guy who had come in 2 days ago. His plane landed at 7:30. He was stuck on the tarmac here until 11 something.
God damn.
And the excuse was there's something broken, but you know how they lied to us. They
Yeah.
say that, but the real reason is customs takes so long that they can't put in more people because there's not enough space. So they got to wait. So you're there in the tarmac for 3 hours waiting and then go. But instead of saying the truth to people, sorry, there's not enough room. We got to wait till there's. They just keep lying. They go, oh, yeah, the plane, you landed, now it's broken. No. Like they just keep
But
they
this is-
can
yeah,
never. This is the
but-
thing about Air Canada and a lot of flight that I hate. They never tell you the truth. We're undermanned. There's not enough staff. We gotta wait. They just make shit up.
You know what's
like us
crazy,
when they
though?
canceled the Atlanta flight and said there's a giant storm, no planes are allowed to fly, which was a lie.
You know what's crazy though? If they would tell the truth and they said we're understaffed, people, I feel like it
Would be more understanding.
Would be
don't
more
know if it's-
understanding.
I don't know
When
if
you catch them lying, you get more
I
mad.
don't know. I don't know if
exactly.
it's a problem of staff or that the fact that they're understaffed.
Bro,
It's
it is-
just that, and this is not just Montreal.
No,
right?
they
It's
are
all
understaffed.
airports. All the big,
Understaffed. No, it's all Canada airports. It's us. They're understaffed.
No, 'cause I was-
they can't
yeah.
handle the mandates. They can't handle the scanning of everyone. There's not enough people to do it. So, and Air Canada doesn't have enough employees from what us when we were flying. Do you remember? There's a lady showed up.
I was reading an article where at Heathrow, for example, and in Berlin, like all the major airports are having huge issues where flights are either delayed, so automatically
We're
that-
the ones causing all this.
So no, from there, flights aren't leaving, so there's delays in all these airports. The reasons though aren't clear. I don't know if it's a staffing issue
It's a
or
staffing issue.
Yeah.
But in any
Yeah.
case,
We had our lady when we were
that
flying.
has a chain effect, right? So it affects.
We had our
pretty much all the
we were
connections
getting on the
were
plane
aligned.
and they kicked us off the plane. We were getting on the plane.
Yeah.
The people letting us on the plane were unaware that there was no staff on the plane.
Yep.
And there was no staff booked. So they called this lady to come. She was in Longueuil. And she drove through traffic, and then they let us back on the plane. She's like, I didn't even know they just called me, and I came in. We're like, what the fuck? Like, it's complete nonsense. This is
Yeah.
Air Canada, by the way. Yeah.
But this, from what I'm hearing, it affects mostly the planes going to the U.S. Like international flights don't really have an issue.
They
so
said they're
it's
going to
usually-
cancel half their flights for the next couple of months, Air Canada. You saw that?
They're
Hope they don't cancel
they've
my
been
Greece
canceling
flight.
about 150
What?
flights per day.
Yeah, and
which is
I'm going to Greece in
insane.
September. If they cancel my shit, I'm going to be very
I
upset.
think you're gonna be fine.
They still haven't paid me back for the $3,000 they
where's
took
my
from me
notes?
in
And you
December.
weren't able to use that? Nah, that's dirty. That's fucking dirty.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
So wait, hold
I've
on.
been getting robbed for years.
Yeah, there's over 200 flights. Look, it says usually the summer period is over 700 flights per day. It's going to be reduced to about between 500 and 530.
Okay, top stories. Pearson delays.
And it's
God
not only Air Canada,
damn.
WestJet as well. But it just feels like people are completely insensitive to people's reality.
Pandemic
It's like,
travel,
well,
how Canadian-
get your shit together, man.
How Canadian Airlines are reducing flights.
Told you.
I have a cousin. She's coming from the U.S. and she called me the other day and she's like, "I'm coming. I can't remember what day."
So hold on. They took everyone's money.
Yeah.
They took. Oh my god.
Well, yeah, dude, your flight is booked.
Yeah.
You go to the airport and you don't fly.
If you're lucky, they might give you credit that they will charge you to use.
Yeah.
See, this is the sort of thing that they should be legislating
pyramid
on.
scheme,
No,
bro.
this is the sort of thing that they should be.
It's ACN, bro.
This is the sort of thing that they should be
That's what
calling.
Air Canada stands for.
Yeah.
You just can't see the end. It's AC, and then they paint it over the end, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
This is the sort of thing that they should be calling emergency sessions of the parliament to legislate on. You cannot be fucking taking people's money like that.
Hold on a second. No, they got more important things, more important fish to fry. For example, they need to legislate what I say on this YouTube channel in case it's not Canadian enough.
So for those who aren't aware, Bill C-11 passed in the House, so it's moving up to the Senate.
I'm living in a communist regime, people.
But I'm just wondering, has it gone through the Senate already? Because
didn't
I
hear.
read somewhere that it passed in the House the third reading, which means that normally the Senate amends it, sends it back to the House, they vote again on it, send it back, and then there's back and forth
you're
thing, and it
saying
goes
the
up
Senate
until
agreed
3.
to this?
No, they send amendments. So they propose certain things. It goes back to the House, then they vote on it again. It comes back, then the Senate deliberates on it, and there's a back and forth thing. It goes up to 3. I read somewhere, I could be wrong. I don't know if anyone in the chat or Poseidon can look into this, but I heard somewhere that it was voted in the Parliament after the third reading. So
What was
which
voted?
normally means that it went to the Senate and back, and this is the last time. So I
What was
don't know.
voted, sorry?
Eh?
What was voted?
The
Bill
C11,
C11.
C11. There was an article I read where it said that it was passed in the House after the third reading. So normally, unless I misunderstood, but normally that means that it had gone to the Senate and back twice before. Sorry?
Hold on, I'm reading.
So now, unless I'm wrong, I think
I like that was the best thing. Poseidon at all wasn't. He made the noise like. So what do you need, Poseidon? Sorry, I'm reading. When I read, that's why they have that law in Ottawa today. It's these fucking weird random noises. I love that.
Sorry, I make random.
What do you want?
noises.
And then I love how it's your fault. No, bro, I'm reading. Okay, bro, so shut the fuck up and read. Why are you making noises in the break?
Oh, because I thought I had the right thing. I was about to start, and then I realized I didn't
That
know
was
the
the
full thing.
greatest. What? I'm reading. Oh, I'm sorry. I was unaware.
While you look that up, yeah. So, the Senate has the majority. The Conservatives have the majority, I think, in the Senate.
So it's pending Senate approval at the moment.
Okay,
It
good,
passed
good.
in the
Yeah,
House,
yeah. But is it? Has it gone already through the Senate? Because it
Well, it's
read
probably in the
somewhere,
Senate right now, and they have to
No.
approve it.
Because in the House, the article I think I read said that it was passed after the third reading, which means that it had gone to the Senate and back.
But no, it was passed maybe in the third reading, maybe within the house, maybe themselves in the House they were deliberating.
I don't know.
No, Bill C10 didn't pass the Senate. So it
No,
passed,
that was C10. We're talking about C11.
Yeah, no, C11, it just passed the
House?
House of Commons.
Yeah.
And as of June 2022, it is once again pending Senate
Yes, okay.
approval.
You saw what I tweeted this morning about that glamorous heiress, the 45-year-old, the hot
No,
chick,
what happened?
the hot
Oh,
Porsche
that's
chick.
amazing.
Yeah,
She's the hot what?
charged. She's just this chick that like owns horses and shit.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh,
And
nice.
it wrote glamorous heiress 45 charged with having sex with 14-year-old boy 4 times in one day. That the boy wrote the title. He's just letting people know. He's like,
The boy released the press
yeah, the
release.
boy had a press release. Like, it was glorious. It was glamorous. But you must all know. But it's funny because if you look at the comments, they're just in the tweet.
Is she really hot?
Whatever. For a 14-year-old boy, bro, she's top.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I want to
But-
see. I want to commend the 14-year-old.
yeah.
Holy shit! Come on, dude. That's good for 14-year-old.
But that's what I'm saying. But it's so funny the way guys see it because it's a 14-year-old boy. Because if it was girls, we'd be losing our shit. We'd be like, we'll fucking kill him. But because it's a boy, we're like, good job, kid. But if you look at the comments, it's the funniest thing. You have like women being like, this is raped. It's called rape. Do better. Then you have guys like, nah, I don't think so. Like, don't speak on behalf of me. Like, it's fucking amazing.
If I was 14 and banged the broad like that, I wouldn't be complaining.
I know people are just, but these women, these women with blue check marks are trying to tell people how you should feel, Poseidon.
These
You know
women
what
with blue
rape
check
is? I
marks.
mean, if it's consensual, even if he's underage, I mean, I don't think that constitutes rape, does it?
It does if they're underage. It's statutory because you're coercing. It's a kid. I know for us, the guy's different. Me, I'm thinking about if it's a woman, if it's a little girl, it's coercion, bro.
Okay.
You're
Yeah.
like go fuck yourself. Stay keep out of there. Now, if I was a 14-year-old boy and I had banged this chick, I would.
You'd be giving high fives everywhere.
I'd be getting high fives everywhere too. But it's very different. It's very different for guys and girls.
Let me take you back just to follow up on what we had already discussed about Hockey Canada, that junior team where there was a gang rape. Remember we spoke about it, and they silenced everyone because they settled with a girl.
Are the names out?
No, the names aren't out. I think it was $3 million or over $3 million. They paid off the girl. So apparently for Hockey Canada, the case was closed.
Is
but
she okay?
She's fine. Well, she got raped. I don't know how fine she is.
That's
I
what
mean,
I'm
that thing
saying.
comes
Like,
back, but it has nothing to do with her. It's mostly the concern now is why did Hockey Canada hide that information? Why didn't we find out until 2 years later? Pretty much.
$3 million, bro. They paid $3 million. They're not gonna.
So there's all these questions that come up. And Hockey Canada, to them, it's clear. They're like, listen, the case is closed. We settled, and that's it. But it's much more than that, right? And especially from the government of Canada, they're like, hold on a second. We want to know if public funds were contributed to hiding this whole
Wait,
thing.
who funds Hockey Canada? The government, no?
They have sponsors, but the government of Canada pays, I think, through
That's
the...
what I'm saying.
It's an amateur sport, I
Yeah,
guess.
so it
they
100% was public funds.
Maybe not entirely,
Of
because
course.
there's some...
That's $3 million.
There's some private funds as well to fund
But how
the
do you
teams or whatever.
determine which, like, it goes into the same
Yeah,
pool?
so I don't know. We don't know that. But in any case, Hockey Canada said no, it wasn't public funds. So the government, the minister responsible for, I think, amateur sports, or I don't remember who it is, She has called on
Scotiabank removed themselves as a sponsor.
Scotiabank, and there's a bunch of sponsors now. Tim Hortons pulled out as
I
well.
keep getting ads. Like I open up my Scotia app this month, and I keep getting ads for like be an ally, become strong an ally. It's like bro, like
An ally for what?
For gay people.
Oh, because it's Pride Month
But it's
or
fake,
whatever it's
bro.
coming.
Like okay, so are you giving gays off, charging them for these stupid fees that you give?
Are you
no?
removing all
So
interest
fuck off, bro.
charges?
How are you helping gay people? Get out of here. You're not doing anything.
You gotta
You're just
give it-
taking
you-
people's money.
but you gotta
now you're
give-
taking people's money, but with a rainbow. Like go
But
fuck yourself.
you got to give it to the gay community for all the work on sensitizing people and
They're not doing it. It's these
businesses
corporations that, and it's doing it. It's having the opposite
they're
effect.
completely sensitized to the cause, and everyone is on board. I mean, every
What
year
cause?
when I don't know the gay
What's
pride,
the cause? That's what I'm saying.
gay pride and gay rights and all that stuff.
But we have gay rights.
I know that, but that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
they're called human rights.
Yeah, they're called human rights,
I
bro.
know, but
If you
what-
come into this country and you're not
I-
fucking
I-
respecting
what I-
someone because of who they want to bang or whatever, you're not meant for
Yeah,
this
but
country.
you don't see this kind of mobilization. For example, when it's I don't know, Tamil month every January.
Yeah, because it's not in the interest of these corporations because it's optically it's not what's trending. Soon
there
it is
you
going to
go.
be.
So that's
soon,
what I'm saying. I think
yeah.
the gay community has done a tremendous work in
Yeah.
sensitizing.
I don't blame the gay community for any of this. bro.
You don't see.
I don't
see
blame.
them-
I blame woke corporations that think they could jump in and trick people who are gay. Be like, oh, I'm gonna give my money to the bank with the rainbow. All the banks fucking hate you. The banks don't like us. That's why the banks steal our money. The banks don't give a shit whether you're gay, straight. They just want your money.
Yeah.
It's all bullshit.
Back to Hockey Canada for 2 seconds because they're losing funding from the government Canada. So they came out and said, no, everything is fine. It's been settled. Blah blah blah.
One of my gay friends works at a bank. He's fucking miserable. Like they're fucking assholes to me.
Why?
Huh?
Why?
They're mean. They're assholes. They're
'Cause he's
they're
gay?
No, I hope
Oh.
not because he's gay.
Okay.
That would be a different issue. Then
Obviously.
fucking doubly pieces of shit. But I'm just saying they don't. They're fucking assholes. Yeah, he wants to
Yeah.
find a new job.
Yeah.
I will try to hook him up, but I don't know. I understand.
Does he
Everyone
want to
tells
stay
me
in banking?
nah, anything because he's working on comedy too. So anything on like that's work from home that the hours are flat would be best. So he could do both. But he's fucking miserable. Miserable. I get the 9 to 5 shifts already. Sometimes it pisses you off, but if you have like these overload, when people, how they are, those bosses that are over your fucking shoulder all the time. And he's a good dude too.
But you know what sucks, man? Sometimes people don't have a choice. I mean, they hate their job and they just can't leave because of whatever.
But now with all the limited resources available, isn't this the best time to get a job that you want since everyone says they're understaffed? Can you dictate?
Yeah, you can dictate now.
Typically, yes, and
terms.
most of the big corporations now have left their office spaces. Pretty much. Well, I'm not gonna say everywhere, but there's a lot of places where it's just.
So now
work
they're in
from
your
home.
house. Like you go take a shit and they're like, why were you set to away for 15 minutes? Like shit, like that's annoying, man.
Yo, I would lose my shit.
Yeah, he had a whole situation like that. He was telling me about it.
Because he works from home,
He works from home and
but
he's
they
like,
monitor still.
he said I had to take a shit.
What does
bro,
he do?
and I
Customer
got-
service?
Yeah, customer service because he deals with people directly. And he goes, I had a 15-minute break. He goes,
Well,
and
I
I
thi-
literally came back at 16 minutes and it became a whole thing. Why 16 is 15? What's up
You,
with
you
16?
know what always intrigued me?
Are you serious?
Yeah, he was like, like I had to take a shit. Like that's
You
how
know,
long it took.
you know what always intrigued me? The people that actually have that job to monitor. It's like, what, do you hate your fucking life? I worked at Bell for a long time, for 4 years, and there was a special department whose responsibility was to look at numbers. So we had this huge board. It was a digital thing with the idle time and how many people were on hold and all this thing. And we always had to keep looking at it so we can see. And they would monitor everyone that was on the calls. How long are you taking per call? How long are you keeping yourself on hold? And all that shit,
it's too much.
And I get it. You have this
everything is
customer
stats.
satisfaction
'Cause everything is
thing
stats,
to
they're trying to-
fulfill.
Everything is stats.
But
at
that's
the
why
same
robots are
time-
taking over.
But at the same time, if I had that job, I wouldn't give a fuck, man. It's like, dude, do your job. Don't fuck around. Don't put yourself on break every 10 minutes. But for 1-2 minutes, do you really give a shit? Who cares? Maybe the guy wants to stretch his legs. What do you
Who gives
care?
a fuck? Yeah, that was me as a manager. I was like, I don't give a fuck, bro. You're gonna get. You promised me this by the end of the week. Get it done by the. I don't give a shit. Go
No,
for
but
ice cream
there-
every day. I don't care.
But there are people that take their jobs way too seriously,
Yeah.
and they don't realize that it's not
Your
your company.
job won't exist. This Poseidon. This is a message. This is a message to all you managers out there. If you're managers, if you're assistant managers, you're dealing with teams, and you're the guy that everybody hates. There are good managers out there. This is a message to the bad managers. Your job, you don't see it yet, is meaningless and won't exist in a couple of years. It will be taken over by an automated service, perhaps a robot, as they call it in certain places. Robots will take your job. It will be meaningless. And then when your robot overlords are sacrificing your ass on the altar, you're going to want help from the regular people who are fighting against this robot takeover. And you're not going to get it. You know why? Because they're going to remember how much of a shitty piece of garbage you were when you were a manager. And they're going to be like, you know what? Sacrifice him to the robot overlords. Because your job, like I said, is meaningless. Algorithms are going to take over your job. It's just going to be stats that they're calculating from everyone's PCs. And they're going to be using those to monitor and to give people raises. You're going to be out of a job. Manage that, you piece of shit.
It's incredible to think how many jobs will get replaced, right, by some sort of
scary,
computer, and it's scary because not for the new workforce, because I mean they're already aware of what they want to do.
Sign robot voice me.
And,
This is what people are going to be getting in the future. Put your headphones. This is what people are going to be getting. I'll tell you what people are going to be getting.
They're going to be getting these messages. Mr. George Chancherizos, we at the Department of Analytics can see that you went for a bathroom break. A 15-minute pre-approved break came back 22 minutes later. Sir, are your bowel movements getting in the way of your job? We can phase you out very easily, Mr. Chancherizos. You keep your shit taking to your time and hearing. That's what's gonna happen.
That's the future.
Yeah.
That's the future.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, no, I mean the new generation coming into the workforce, I mean they're already aware of where they want to go and what will exist, but I'm much more concerned about the age bracket between 40 and 50, let's say 35 to 50.
And who they're banging these hot chicks. Evidently, this 14-year-old boy who looks horses.
Because in 10 years, when their jobs won't exist anymore and you're like in your mid-40s or early 50s, what the hell are you going to do? How are you going to transform your life to whatever reality will exist?
I have your answer, and you're not going to like it. Universal basic income.
Oh, God.
That's when the government steps in and says, I created the problems. I'm here to help. You don't need to work. You don't need to own anything.
Weren't you in favor of that at some point?
Me?
Universal basic income. Who was in favor
I've
of
been
it?
against universal basic income from the beginning.
There was someone that was for it. Was
I
it
said
Phil
you
maybe?
allow,
I can't remember.
Phil for sure. I said
Phil for sure.
you
Fucking
allow
commie.
people. Yeah, no, you even Phil's probably not. Phil might be worth it. Phil might be for it in the case of now when everything's fucked up and they've set it up so you can't survive without it. But I'm for an open market where there's jobs, people are getting paid fairly, and people are allowed to work, go out there and seek work to better themselves and make money and buy whatever they want. That's what I'm for. The regulations I want are for corporations not to take advantage of people. That's the regulation I want. Not everything becomes so shitty that now the government steps in to give you your rations every month.
It's not that.
But it is that because you saw that MasterCard that they've been tracking for your carbon footprint to see how it could work. About did you pass your monthly quota of how much milk you can buy? How much they're testing all this shit already. We're setting ourselves up for fucking. We're all gonna go off the cliff together because of these fucking idiots.
More than anything, the problem for me is that by introducing that sort of thing, it's like they're capping people's ambition. It's like, why should I work hard? I mean, why should I dream? Why should I do this? Why should I open a business? Why should I work harder? Why should I aim for that promotion when I have $3,000 coming in and I'm fine, no problem. So whatever I have to compliment, let me go get a little job 3 days a week.
By the way, that's oversimplification of it happening. No, but that's yeah, they're making everyone lazy because they're offering kids who've never worked. Kids. A lot of young people, they're taken care of by their parents, wherever they come out of school, and then some of them learn the hard way. Oh shit, I gotta survive. I gotta work. They start learning what it is. But if you never learned that, you never got that because right when you're supposed to be independent, the government hands you money. You're like, why the fuck would I work like a sucker? But what people don't understand is right now, because it's a transitory period, that's what it sounds like. In the future, that's not how the economy could possibly work, right? In the future, your $3,000 is not gonna be worth $3,000. In the future, it's gonna be credits. So you're not gonna be getting $3,000. You might be getting, we might call it $3,000, but essentially what it's going to be is you're going to be getting monthly. You're going to be getting your credit for your rent. Yeah. You're going to be getting a specific credit for your rations, for your meals.
There won't be any liquidity. It's all going to be like digital credit. Like it's all going to be.
It might be there might be a while before we calculate it the way I'm saying. We might still use you're getting $3,000 a month, but when you break it down, it's literally going to be this percentage of it is for your rent. This percentage is for your food rations, which once it runs out, what do you do? Because it's rationed. right?
Yeah.
This is for clothing.
So
If
what are you
if
saying? You're saying that
going-
you have 20 credits to buy clothes, and when you're done, you can't buy clothes anymore.
You can't buy clothes. You buy your clothes for the
That
month.
is just so fucking ridiculous.
But what do you mean? Of course it's ridiculous. But I'm not, dude. It's your friend Trudeau. He's going to meetings that talk about this.
How do you think?
The WEF, this is what they talk about. They have books about this. They fucking make trailers and they show people, and people look at it and go, oh, I'm not scared. That's what they're talking about. I'm not the one making this shit up. That's what they're talking about. And the excuse is the new religion, which is going to be, oh, well, this is because the Earth's going to die. So we have to ration shit out because of global. We're going to have, they're talking about lockdowns, more lockdowns and more curfews for global warming. You heard about this?
Yeah.
More curfews so that you could curb, and more lockdowns. We're going to close everything down this time. We're going to fuck you up. But this time, because people are not going to fall for the same fucking thing we did last time after everyone got vaccinated when they were still shutting us down. So now they're going to be like, now it's, you can't even disprove it. Now it's because this is going to keep the climate better.
No.
So we can survive longer. How do you disprove that, bro? You're a regular guy, and how the fuck how are you going to count emissions in the city? You don't fucking know. So you're gonna be like, all right, I guess I'll lock myself in. What the shit that they're talking about is absurd. It's super villain shit, and we just, we take it. We're like, whatever.
Yeah, people are just going along.
Yeah, this is crazy, bro. This is what people should protest. Be like, what are you fucking people mental? How the fuck are 15 people sitting in a room discussing this? Who actually have power? Get the fuck out of here. No. Yeah.
Back on that credit thing, how do you think that the older generations are going to go through it? Like our parents who still believe that cash is gold, right?
Yeah, but they're trying to kill our parents. Our parents won't be around.
No, I
They're
understand.
trying to kill our parents.
No, but can you imagine someone that like I just look at my father who still sometimes is like, okay, and they're telling no cash, their only card. He's like, what the fuck are they talking about? What are you talking about? Here, have money, take it. They still believe in cash. They don't understand what this new reality is. I've told you the story when I went with my dad. This is years ago. We went downtown and we parked, and they had the new parking meters. You remember the old ones? You put the quarter and you turn, and it had the little needle.
Yeah.
So let's say there was an empty spot. You parked in and you saw, okay, there's 5 minutes or 10 minutes left, whatever. If you wanted more, you would just compliment, whatever. So I go, okay, I'm gonna go pay parking. He goes, where are the things? I go, no, you gotta go pay. You gotta take the code now and go pay.
Yeah.
And he just paused. He goes, what do you mean? I go, you take the number, just come with me. I'll go pay at the thing, And he goes, yeah, but how do you know that there isn't any time left? I go, I don't.
You don't, and most of the time there is time left. You just double pay.
Yeah. And
That's a scam
and he starts freaking out. He goes, what's wrong with you? Are you fucking people blind?
Yeah,
They're
that's right.
stealing
Yeah,
your money.
Your dad's 100% right.
He's right, but it was just a reality check for him. It was like the old timers meeting like the technology, and like there was like a clash. It was like, I don't get it. What's happening here?
Look, had they done that and they did the same, like how much time is left, I'd be like, okay.
Oh
feel
yeah,
like-
if you just transition digitally, I don't mind.
Yeah.
If you go to pay for a parking spot and it says there's 30 minutes left, do you want to pay after? Or I'd be like, oh, that's fair, it's fine.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
not what they do. It's all scams. But it's everyone's fault because when this was happening and people were
and
complaining
it's
in
so
the
easy
beginning.
to implement, right? It's everything. It's on your phone. You go, you click in your
Yeah.
space, and you should have under the
But they
time
have
left.
it. I mean, they have it. They're collecting the money. They know who paid for what. But no one. The thing is, no one in the beginning complained except for people who saw. They're like, wait, what about this? And everyone's like, that's not gonna happen. It's always the same excuse I hear from people.
I feel like we've
They
had this
wouldn't do
conversation
that.
before.
The government wouldn't do that. Everyone always says they wouldn't do that about people who not only do that, are doing that, will do that. The government will do anything. The government has done everything. In every country in the world, the government is the biggest enemy of the people. They've killed the most people. They've poisoned the most people. The government's the fucking worst. Corporations, who people trust for some reason, like the corporation that has that app, corporations fuck you over daily. Banks don't give a shit. Banks put a gay flag for fucking Pride Month. They don't give a shit whether you're gay or not.
Woke
They're gonna rob you just the same.
But
Nobody cares. It's all fake.
I feel like we've spoken about this, and I was asking if in Westmount they still had those old meters, because I remember a while ago, like
They
1 or 2 years ago, I went to Sherbrooke West, and it didn't have the thing there with a needle, but it had a digital when you put the coin, and it showed you the time left.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if they still have those.
I wonder how long it's gonna take for them to assassinate me with all the shit I thought.
To what?
To assassinate. By the way,
if you get big enough.
By the way, I will never suicide myself. Know this right now.
Just in case anything happens.
In case Hillary Clinton gets upset.
I did not commit suicide 5 years from now.
They're going to wait till you get big enough.
Yeah. Oh, I have to gain some more weight, huh?
No.
Guys, let me talk to you a little bit about
More
just
influence, I mean.
finish Hockey Canada. They're in hot water. The government is pulling away their funding, and all these corporations now are like Scotia and Tim Hortons, and there's a lot
if
of pressure.
there's a line to draw, I guess rape would be one of them.
Well, there's a lot of pressure not to release those names because a lot of those players, like we've mentioned before, are in the NHL. There was one guy in the Canadians, Victor Mete, who came out again, even though it was confirmed when this information came out that he wasn't here. He came out and made an official statement the other day, denouncing everything that happened and that he could not believe that his teammates would even think of doing something like that. In any case, interesting to see how that unfolds. I want to talk to you guys a little bit about our new Governor General, Mrs. Mary Simon.
I don't, but go on.
No, this is going to be interesting.
Okay.
First of all, she came in under a lot of controversy, if you guys remember, because of the fact that she doesn't speak French, right?
I didn't remember any of this.
And we didn't have
Where's
an
she
issue. She's First Nations.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Do you remember her? She speaks
I mean,
Inuktitut.
she's a governor general, so all she really needs to speak is the Queen's English.
Yeah.
Since she's the Queen's representative.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what formalities exist, and I don't know what provisions the Constitution has about that role, and if it's mandatory to have both languages. But I'll tell you two things that happen. One, because there's a group from Quebec that is taking her to court, but we're going to leave that aside.
Oh, that's funny.
They're suing the Governor
They're
General.
taking her to court for not knowing French.
Yeah, they're challenging the decision to name her as Governor General. They
But
want.
why would she go to court? She doesn't name herself Governor General.
No. They're taking the case to court to invalidate her nomination. But
I don't hate it. I don't hate
But
the
wait,
idea.
we'll talk about that later. But
I'll tell you
before
why.
that,
Just taking the government to court for having a Governor General, because the Governor General is the representative of the Queen, and we're supposed to be a free society. So already there, I'm like, you know what? Yeah, challenge these cocksuckers. All right.
But before we get to that, a couple of weeks ago, I think last month, there was this scandal that broke out to the effect that the Governor General took a bunch of foreign, representatives and businessmen.
Foreigners?
No, she took foreign representatives and businessmen. I don't know. It was one of the. She formed a delegation that traveled
Nice.
to the Middle East.
Stone yappy broads. Like what? Why is this a controversy?
I don't know what event there was. The Governor General traveled to the Middle East. She brought a delegation with her. On obviously there's a plane that she has, I guess, the government of Canada, and it was it came out that the people on the plane, basically the Governor General charged the government $100,000 on food, beverages, and
What?
and, yeah, like to feed the people on the plane to the trip and back, and people are wondering
100 G's. What did they eat?
What the fuck did you eat for $100 grand? And then it was clarified.
damn.
They're like, okay, it wasn't
Did they
100 grand.
eat the 14-year-old boy from the first article?
So officially it's 80,000, but still an $80,000 bill for a
To feed
delegation.
how many people?
How many were they?
But this is
I don't
in-flight
know.
meals.
I don't
Poseidon. This
remember. You
isn't-
can look it up though. Maybe 30 people, I think, something like that, or 50 people, something like that.
80 G's. That's absurd,
It's ridiculous.
How many meals?
Who cares, bro? It's $100 grand.
bro. This is our money.
This is insane.
This is taxpayer funds.
Like, even if it's 100 people, it's $1,000 per person. Like, what the fuck are they eating on the plane, dude?
In her defense, you said she's native, right?
Yeah.
We did steal everything from them. So
It's like
they-
fucking payback.
Yeah. So she's like, look, bitches.
So
this
based
is
on
all mine.
So let's say that was the
In
argument.
her defense,
Let's say that was her argument. Like, would you be like, okay, yeah, sure, no problem, we'll give it to you.
I would.
I would.
I'd be like, you know what? In the end, we stole way more than 80 G's.
Well, I wouldn't because I didn't steal anything.
Yeah, I'm clearly
I know,
exaggerating.
I know.
Poseidon.
Historically.
I didn't steal anything. My
Yeah.
parents
I
showed
know,
up here
I
50
know.
years ago. I have nothing to do with any of that.
Anyway, so that's what happened. There's a whole scandal. So I don't know what's going on with that. I think they're looking into it.
It is scandalous. Here's the scandalous part about this is you have. It's kind of like if a corporation gives you their credit card. You have a sense of responsibility that it's not personal. It's for business, let's say. So you kind of have to mitigate what you're paying for.
Because
Make it rational.
I'm also sure she gets an expense account as a
Yeah.
governor general. So
The-
why don't you take it from there? I mean, why would you have to
But even
like
the expense
overcharge?
account is just the gut. Like I would feel guilty if I worked for the government and I had like an expense account. I wouldn't like I knew guys when I was working at EA who had they were managing and they had they had credit cards that they could use
Yeah.
for two. And bro, one guy over like other people they would keep it reasonable. They would take people out for meals.
Yeah,
and
this
stuff.
guy didn't give
This
a
guy,
fuck.
his groceries, he would fucking overdo it. And even then, even though it was EA, it's not even a public company. It's EA. I would still. It's not like public funds. I would still be like, I don't know. I wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, but I don't think they give you the credit card to spend on anything. Like, doesn't have to be
They don't.
related to the work. So
Yeah,
if they
but-
get if you bring a bill, fucking Metro.
Yeah,
it'll
it'll be like, but it could be like I did a team building exercise. I got food, and you could find ways. It's not. That's not. If you have the receipts, it's not a problem. But it's still, especially even that, and it's a corporation. I was still like, bro, I wouldn't be able to do that shit. But public, if I was working for the government, there's no way in hell I could. It's like, it's not my fucking money. We're supposed to be talking about roads and sustainable futures and kids eating and schools and hospitals. And I'm going to fucking take some people to watch a chick get stoned to death and I'm going to feed them fucking truffles. Are you crazy? It's absurd.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's all lunatic
it's,
stuff.
It's yeah.
So back to the other case now with the Governor General. So you have a group over here that is challenging her nomination.
Yes.
This is what's
There's
the
a
name?
challenge on the field.
Frédéric Bastien. What's his name?
So they're
Yeah,
challenging.
Frédéric Bastien. Frédéric Bastien was a candidate in the leadership race of the Parti Québécois.
Good for him.
In
How did that go?
Back in 2020, he lost obviously.
Well, that's, he's a career loser. He shouldn't be fighting against the
he's
government.
challenging it because he, what he's saying is that it violates certain elements of the charter that demand that Canada has two official languages and the Governor General needs to speak both English and French.
Well, I have a small asterisk to put there. He is correct, right? So then what about this Bill 96, which does the opposite?
Yeah, but that's only in Quebec, and Quebec's official language is French.
Right, but Quebec is in Canada.
I know, but that's why they're invoking the notwithstanding clause.
Yeah.
They know it goes against the.
I'm just saying he's
the
fighting
Charter
for
of Rights and
something that
Freedoms.
he's also fighting against on another platform.
Yeah.
I believe the term is hypocrisy.
But you see, they're basing themselves on a precedent apparently in New Brunswick, where, and this is in French, so I'm just reading and trying to translate as quickly as possible. Where
Kim, all politicians steal money. I'm gonna go that far.
so you have the Acadians. So the Acadians is a francophone group that lives in New Brunswick.
They don't speak
recently contested the nomination of a lieutenant governor. So that's like the Governor General, but for the provinces. So lieutenant governor, because the one that was appointed in New Brunswick apparently didn't speak French, and the court in New Brunswick gave them right. So now, so Justin Trudeau, the government is appealing that decision, obviously. So it's probably going to go to the Supreme Court. We don't know what's going to happen. But based on that decision, these guys, they're going to the Superior Court of Quebec and saying, well, look, there's a precedent in New Brunswick where they challenged that decision because the lieutenant governor there didn't speak French. So we're requesting that the Governor General. Now, are they playing in another jurisdiction? I mean, because the equivalent would have been if they would challenge the nomination of a lieutenant governor in Quebec, but now they're challenging the nomination of a governor general, which is for the entire
Look, to be honest,
country.
even though I like the fact there's a First Nations lady up in there, I think they're right. Canada has two official languages.
Yeah.
If you're working federally, if you're representing the country, you should speak both.
Yep.
That's how I feel. Now,
There's,
perhaps...
I mean, look, I'm sure, and I haven't done this, but anyone who has time to waste, you can look back to see the previous governor generals.
Yeah.
I'm almost sure 100% that not all of them spoke French.
But that doesn't make it right.
No, I know.
If I go back in time, dudes were punching chicks in the face because dinner wasn't ready. It doesn't mean that it was right because it happened. Like,
the good old days,
yeah,
Pantelis.
yeah, the good old days.
good old days.
Teach you how to fucking sear a steak. But no, it doesn't mean because it was happening that we should continue. It's not good. It's also insulting.
Well, that's what they're basing themselves on. They're thinking
But-
it's an insult to the French-speaking population of Canada that the Governor General, who is the actual head of state of Canada, right?
Oh, look who admitted that finally. Mr. It's ceremonial. It's not a real job.
No, I always had the Governor General as the head of state.
No,
the
no.
Queen is the head of state.
Bro, we've literally had debates on here where you kept telling me that I'm a conspiracy theorist and the Queen has no power.
No, I said that she's the head of state, but it's a ceremonial title. But in reality, on paper, she is the head of state.
That's not ceremonial if it's on paper. It's on paper, bro.
Well, I see what you're saying.
Just a little side note over here. I watched a video the other day that was a little bit interesting. Because with all this bullshit that's
How to
happening,
get your broad to cook a steak properly so you don't have to punch her.
no, with all this bullshit that's happening with the politicians, the deals, this, that, the money laundering, all this bullshit.
He's setting us up for something stupid. Go on.
No. It was the man who was talking. The way you could prevent all of this is you
Killing
have
them.
you have the politicians go graduate in politics, like they go to school, like how lawyers do.
No,
how
that's what they did
doctors
in.
do.
That's the grooming school they had in France.
Let me
and
tell
then
you
it's the same
something.
royal families that take over.
I graduated from poli-sci, and it's the most bullshit.
Yeah.
No offense to anyone who graduated poli-sci, but it's the most bullshit thing you can graduate.
No,
from.
but like electricians.
Dude, what the guy's saying, it's not that type of a job. Like, it's not the type. You know what you need for politicians, honestly, so they can stop stealing. Transparency. You need every month a public report that's not redacted, that we can see. That's the truth.
The
Where
key-
money
the key
went.
phrase
yeah,
here.
what they did. These are the meetings they had. This is what was proposed. This is what they voted on. Bro, the second transparency comes into play, you're going to see people start fucking putting their dick between their legs and complying. Because now, you know what they do? Even if it's something fucked up, they're like, okay, yeah, we'll put it publicly, redacted. Like when Legault, when they said, when you fucking did the curfew, like that was some crazy communist shit. Like you had no scientific reason. The people around you said this is crazy. You're not allowed to do it, and you still did it because you said I'm in fucking charge. So release publicly why you made the decision. So what did he do? They released pages of black bars.
It was
This is the reason, and they're like, well, we can't see the reason. It's redacted. He's like, government shit redacted. What do you want me to tell you? Deal with it.
Yeah.
That's why they get emboldened because they never have to explain themselves. If you make it transparent, every month there's a report, and I go online and I see I'm a voter and I see what you vote on, what you spend time on, where were your meetings, why were you away for 4 days golfing? The fuck is this, bro? This is what I pay you for because we're the boss. We're the ones paying their salary.
Yeah.
That's how it should be. But we're such dumb bitches. Not only do we not ask for that, we vote for the same people that fuck us.
But the guy in the video did go into that about transparency, and the way you get that is with licenses. So that's the next thing I was going into.
Lawyers have licenses and they could get disbarred. They still fuck around.
But they do. You could still fuck around, but you
Bro,
could get sued. They could get sued at
even
least
if
now.
they get sued. If we have no laws that protect us as the voters and offer transparent. It's not visible. So anything you sue them for, anything you sue them for, they don't have to actually show most of the shit. That's the problem. That's why there's laws in the States that there's limits of how many years something can be classified. But it doesn't change anything because then they find new reasons. Because the press always tries to get information.
Yeah.
Dude, they make rules as they go along and they block. So it doesn't matter. Even they block everything. What the guy's saying is stupid. He's saying it as if he doesn't realize that the government makes up rules as they go along.
Look, it's hypocritical, right? Because the government passes the
government's the one that accredits people for that stuff.
the right to access information act. C'est la loi à l'accès à l'information that gives the right to most journalists to request information. So like, okay, there's a law. See, it's transparent. You have a law that allows you to request information. But at the same time, they come like, "Oh, we got this."
The law doesn't
give it to them, and like he says, information is missing.
So the
it's
law
like, we'll give it to you.
that they put in, they go, we're allowing everyone, mostly journalists, the freedom of information, which is to request it. But the law doesn't protect you from actually getting the information. So they say, "Oh, you have the right, of course, ask me for it." And then when they give it to you, they could block everything out. There's no law.
But sometimes they could refuse if it's to the detriment of security or whatever.
But I'm saying in general, if it's not to the detriment of security, they'll give it to you. But if it's to the detriment of a politician,
or whatever,
they'll block it out.
Yeah,
it's useless.
Bro, it's insane. We've gotten so corrupt.
It's not even corruption.
But this has always been like that, guys. It's just that now we have more access to information that we're
people get caught easier.
Not really.
No, they're not getting caught. It's
I
just
saw
that
with the elections in September. I noticed it with Trudeau. I go, you know what? Sometimes, and it sucks to say it, you made your bed, you have to sleep in it. You deserve it. Like I saw when people came out to vote for now after everything that happened. I was like, okay, you deserve it. Like that's the truth. You can't complain after you voted for this.
Yeah, that's what you voted for. This is what you're getting. I mean,
you fell for it. The guy robbing you is like this. I know I stole your microwave, but I'm just reappropriating it. People need this microwave, and you're like, yeah, that's fucking cool. I'm gonna vote for the guy to come rob my microwave.
I always found it interesting how ideology is like so blinding sometimes, right? And I remember telling you this even back when I used to work in politics, where I would go to all these conventions, and I was never, thank God, I was never in that group where it was like. Like I was, and I always found it real. I'm like, okay, look, clap, you're excited.
Bunch of dummies.
But I can understand that you're excited and you want to get the crowd going, and there's that. But then there's the bigger portion of people are just like this with blinders on, like, yay, we're the best, oh my God. People crying. And I never understood that. I never fell into that. And I was like, oh my goodness.
I had a discussion with a guy who told me, he goes, bro, I voted liberal my entire life. I'm always going to vote liberal. And then I go, I know I voted liberal. What do you mean you're always going to vote liberal? Like, how do you base that on? Like, if they say anything, like, we're going to start killing Mexicans, you're going to vote for liberal? He's like, I always vote because the policies align. I go, what policies, though? Because they always change. Maybe on paper, they go, we stand for this. But everything they've been doing and what they is the opposite. So why would you say I always vote conservative, I always vote liberal, I always vote ND?
Yeah.
That's insane, bro. It's a cult.
But that
Shouldn't you vote for what that person is saying they're going to do? What's better for you?
But I feel like that is changing a lot. I remember, even back when I was younger, and even to a certain extent, probably like halfway into the 11 years that I did there, people were very much ideological, right? Like, I mean, you saw your parents and your
Indoctrinated, some would say.
I don't know if it was indoctrinated. It's just that this is who I vote for. I'm camping myself here, and I'm loyal to this, banner.
Yeah.
And for generations, people voted like that. I feel like the last maybe, I don't know, 5 to 8 years, there's a shift because now in the electoral pool, you have younger generations that are coming in, right? It's no longer like we at some point we were the youngest in the eligible voters, right?
Yeah.
Well, now it's moving up, and you have a new class of voters coming in, and they think very much differently from the previous generations, right? These people are going to be like, well, some of them don't even vote, like the participation has dropped, but for the ones that do vote, they're much more susceptible to reading the platforms and to not necessarily going with a brand or a banner, but thinking, okay, who makes more sense? And I'm not
Are you
saying
sure? Because all I see is woke bullshit. All I see is ideological stuff.
No. I think that more than ever, from what I've seen, I could be wrong, but from the experience that I have, from one election to the next, people are always thinking, well, we'll see what they're proposing, and we'll go with, and that's why. And I'm not. And it's good and it's bad. It's good because people are more open to listening, but it's bad because you fall into the trap of the trends. So you have like like I'm thinking of Quebec Solidaire, for example, a grassroots left-wing separatist party that will promise fucking heaven to anyone. Like, okay, yeah, like their platform is usually budgeted like I don't know, $80 billion. It's like, how are you gonna pay for this shit?
Yeah.
Whatever you want, we'll give it to you. So there's a big trap over there because if you're part of that group that always looks to see what people are offering in order to vote, you got to be aware that sometimes some of these things are unrealistic.
Bro, everyone's unaware.
Dude,
Trudeau was printing money. This guy, I'm pointing at myself, who's a fucking dummy, called in the beginning when he announced this. Remember, you can find podcasts. Gapes was talking about. I think he's going to make a montage. Bro, I've been saying it for 2 fucking years. I go, the economy's going to tank. This is going to cause inflation. I'm not an economist. I'm not that bright. But this is basic stuff that they teach you in fucking school. About how the fucking economy works when you're just printing money and there's no workforce. No one was working.
Speaking
so
of
then now that there's inflation, this and that, and he's trying to brush it off, people are shocked. They voted for him. People voted to reduce the value of their own dollar. Do you understand? People voted to become poor. You know how fucking crazy that is? They're like, we're going to get this. We're going to be prosperous. How are we going to do it? By fucking waiting in line for bread. Are you fucking retarded?
People have been brainwashed.
Speaking of inflation, there's a video that's going around, and this is from the Liberal Party of Quebec. They released a video where 2 years ago you had Carlos Letao. Carlos Letao was the former Minister of Finance with a Liberal government.
Yeah.
4 years of surplus budgets. And now he's in opposition, and he's the official opposition critic on finance, obviously, because that's his specialty. Provincially. So 2 years ago, he gets up in the House and he questions the government on actions that they're taking because there's an inflation that is coming most likely, you know?
Yeah, because all the actions 2 years ago that like our government was taking was against people, against our financial system. It was going to set us up, like I said, for the trap 2 years later.
So the clip is Legault getting up in the House and answering to the minister. It's like, and this is in French, obviously. He's like, I don't know why the opposition is scaring everyone. I don't know what planet they're living in. They're talking about.
I just saw something so absurd that
but let him finish. Like, focus on this.
He's saying, the former Minister of Finance is scaring everyone, telling us that there's going to be inflation rates of 5% and 6%. I don't know what planet they're living on, and all that stuff.
Said this. I'm not even a fucking finance minister.
2 years later, we're like smack in the middle of exactly what was.
Yeah, these people are imbeciles, bro. Legault's an idiot. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. But this what's crazy is you vote for people like this, right? He's in charge. He's laughing at basic economic principles. He's like, that's a fucking crazy. What do they got? And then you see it coming to fruition right now. People who voted for him or were thinking of voting for him should be like, whoa, hold on a second. The guy steering the ship doesn't know how to drive. We should get him off. But instead, a lot of people are going to be like, he's there now, so he knows what he's doing. I'm going to vote for him again. While when they used to, for $10, they used to get XYZ thing, now they can't get any of that shit. They're not thinking of themselves. They're not thinking of the community around them. They're just thinking of, this guy's there. He seems legit. We're fucking retards.
It's the wrong priorities. See, he's tackling the whole nationalist thing. He's gonna destroy. He's gonna kill in the regions. He's gonna get elected again, and with a much bigger majority. Watch.
It's so stupid.
You know.
It's the first time in my life I think that if I see people and like, oh, you know, the prices are, you know, the gas and that, I'm like, yeah, go fuck yourself. Who'd you vote for? Who'd you vote for?
What were you saying, Poseidon?
If you tell me you voted for Trudeau and you're mad that the gas prices are up, you're a fucking idiot. We knew the gas prices were gonna go up. It's the shit he's been talking about.
Yeah.
If you're mad about inflation and you voted for Trudeau, or but you fucking did it, bro. What am I gonna tell you?
A third of the gas price is taxes.
Yeah. So if he
that what you
wants,
saw?
Almost half.
no, it is. Yeah, we already talked about this.
Oh,
yeah,
we've talked about
if
this,
he
yeah.
wanted to reduce the load, if he gave a shit, he could reduce the load.
You're
He
talking
could-
about Trudeau now.
Yeah, he could reduce the load on gas prices, but he doesn't give a fuck about you. They don't care about you. They don't. None of them.
And
do.
also, it is inflated pricing.
Yeah.
It's not even the real
To begin
pricing.
with,
Yeah. It's so anyways, it's just there's such fucking scumbags. That's why I want less government. I don't want them to have this type of power. I want less government. The regulations that should be in place is so that the government can't fuck you. But none of that. And I even Poilievre now that I don't even know. Like he talks nice about like accountability for let's say Trudeau, but further than that, I don't hear any plans about reducing the government overreach. I don't hear any plans about that shit.
I actually saw it. Was it this week or end of last week? He posted it on his Facebook, and then people can go see it if you want. And no, I'm not on anyone's camp here.
No,
I'm
no,
just
but
answering your question.
objectively, yeah.
He's saying that if he gets elected, he's going to implement a pay-as-you-go. He's gonna vote the Pay-as-you-go Act, and the Pay-as-you-go Act basically is going to be a law that will forbid the government of spending more than it actually makes.
Oh,
So that's what he's saying, and he compared it to Bill Clinton's era in the U.S., where he imposed exactly that, and
Yeah,
for the
and
first time ever in the history,
people had-
the U.S. Covered a $400 billion deficit.
yeah, and they had people had
until the next administration came in and banned it, and
Bush.
then they
people
fell
had
back
money in
the
their
hole.
pocket during that era.
So,
okay, this I'm for.
So this is what he's
Who
suggesting.
proposes, sorry?
This is Pierre
Poilievre.
Poilievre on his
Okay.
Facebook. It's like a 6-minute video. He's
Well, what's his
explaining.
background? Isn't he like...
He's an economist. He
Yeah,
has an.
there you go.
He has I think he's an economist. Yeah.
Well, the thing is,
Or no, historian. No, I think he's an economist. He has an economy
I
background.
want to believe that he would do this because
You
he
can find
sees-
it on his Facebook page.
I want to believe that he would do this because he sees it's the right thing to do. But I think the only reason why, if he would win, he would do this is because there's no other way for us to get out of this.
No, that's
We
the
have to
only
tighten
thing.
our belts.
That's the only thing that you have to do.
We have to tighten our
the
belts,
only thing.
guys. If we don't want in 10, 15 years our kids to be wheelbarrowing money for fucking milk, we have no choice but to try to fix the problem that fucking drama
and
teacher
small
caused.
parenthesis, this is exactly what Couillard did in 2014 when he got elected, and people fucking bashed him because they thought it was austerity measures, but it wasn't that. The guy put a cap on government spending so that the Quebec economy could roll to the point where the revenues were higher than the expenses, right? And that's why he had such good budgets, and that's why Legault inherited a $5 billion surplus.
So on a smaller scale, Poseidon,
Yeah.
if for 5 months I ran this company the way Trudeau runs the country, it wouldn't exist.
You wouldn't be able to because you don't have that kind of leverage. You don't
Exactly.
have that kind of credit.
It wouldn't exist. And he doesn't either. It's made up. It's printed. It's made up. That's why we're paying for it now.
Well, no, he has creditors and stuff.
Well, no,
and,
it's because if he
eventually,
had, we
eventually
wouldn't
it's
need to
going
print.
to affect.
We
What's
wouldn't
our
need to
credit
print new
rating?
money.
What's Canada's credit rating now? I'm sure. I think
Am I
it's-
the one giving it? I give it a 4.
I think
Sorry, so Pierre Poilievre, he studied commerce, international relations, and he graduated with a bachelor degree in arts. Bachelor of Arts. degree.
Economically, he sounds sound. The guy. I want to know more about his social policies
that's the big question mark because
because I'm a big socialite, as you know.
he's leaning into this social conservative thing because he wants those votes.
What is a social conservative? Like they
social
keep making
conservative means that you're
progressive-
anti-gay. You know what I
Social
mean?
conservative is anti-gay.
That's what it means. Yeah, like
That doesn't make any sense.
yeah, that's what.
Socially conservative. Oh,
Social
he's concerned on
conservatives.
social stuff.
Exactly.
So this guy doesn't like gay people.
No. I'm not saying that. That's what he said. He's leaning into that crowd because he wants those votes to get elected. But there's a lot of people saying that. A lot of analysts are saying, "Look, that's not really who he is. He's much more progressive."
Yeah, that's
but
what I
he's
would imagine.
He's taking that turn because obviously
Good,
he
take
wants
their
to
fucking
support.
votes. That I don't care. Take the vote as long as if he's
you
elected.
can't do that because don't forget what's
course
his
you
name.
can.
The guy before him. What was his name?
If he wins, I don't
I
give a
thought
shit.
was the. I can't believe I forgot his name.
I'd rather have a
O'Toole.
prime.
Yeah.
Tool's a tool. I'd rather have a prime minister that doesn't hate anyone.
Because O'Toole
doesn't,
did that, and that's why they threw him out.
Why?
During his leadership campaign,
Pretended to hate
promised.
gay
He
people?
promised. No. He promised certain things on gun policy and all that stuff to the Western Canadians. The prairies.
Yeah, yeah.
And during the campaign, when was the campaign? 2021.
Yeah.
And in the campaign, he went completely like 180 degrees. So that's why, yeah. So when they lost, like that's where he lost a lot of the base.
Yeah, but I'm not saying tell the people that hate gay people, like, hey, vote for me, we'll electrocute gay people. I'm just saying you can go there and be like, look, these are my economic policies. They're going to benefit you. Just don't talk about gay people. And then...
yeah, but he's going to get asked, though.
No, what I'm saying is
They're
that
gonna
his
use it
position
against him.
isn't clear. I have a feeling from the people that I've spoken to that he's not a social conservative. But he's just leaning into that rhetoric because he wants the support. So, but it's still dangerous. It's such a
thin line.
fragile issue because when you're looking at all the candidates in the leadership race, even Jean Charest or everyone else, they're talking about being an inclusive conservative party. They're saying, look, these people belong in our party. They have certain values that need to be respected, and they belong. I just don't see how it's such a conflicting thing about between progressive conservatives and social conservatives. Like they can't meet. Like they can't. You can't have a progressive conservative that thinks we have to embrace homosexuality and allow gay marriages and all that stuff with someone that believes in conversion therapies. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, the conversion therapy is the extreme.
I don't.
But why don't
Like
they,
how do they meet?
But why don't
meet
why don't they have a meeting and tell the people, guys, this is gonna sound
like
crazy.
it's two
This is gonna
fundamentally
sound crazy,
opposite
but
sides.
no one's choosing to be gay. And then you have the other side being like, wait, what? Because I got my battery, I got my car battery ready. I thought I was gonna change some hearts and minds. Like, no, Bill, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. No one's choosing to be gay, dipshit.
But that's what my pastor said.
Yeah, well, you gotta find a new pastor, bro, because that's not how it works. It's not scientifically sound. This is absurd. Maybe they just need to talk.
After
Dialogue.
a gay dude gets electrocuted, he starts sounding like a robot.
Robot like this.
Dude, after generations of scientific evidence, how are you going to go and tell these guys, but that's how it is? Like, you would imagine that after all these years, after all these decades, they would have understood that you're born with this, right?
No,
it's a genetic
no.
thing.
Look at us, again, voting for Trudeau. People don't understand anything. People voted against their best interest. And I called it. Remember I said, you're going to vote against your best interest?
Despite the fact that
Pantelis, you don't know what my best interest is. Okay, your best interest is obviously not to be able to afford rent and food, and that's crazy.
Despite the fact
Why would that be in your best interest?
Despite the fact that close
Have a
people to
job.
you, despite the fact that close people to you and knowledgeable people told you not to vote for him,
Yeah.
you went along and
That
voted
was
for
the
him
first
anyway.
time. I did that the first time. The first time I felt Canada needed a shakeup. I didn't realize like the cap wasn't closed in that shakeup and he's gonna throw us all out. I didn't realize that's what it was. I admit it. That's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna bullshit.
It's good at least that you admit it, because certain people still believe that. No, he's the best for the job.
The first time I voted for, and I told you why I voted. You even told me not to vote for him, and you were helping him get elected, and you still told me, you're like, yeah, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. I voted for him just because, like, we need a change. I felt like it shouldn't be a royalty type of thing. You need new blood in politics. That's what I felt. Took him 2-3 weeks to start talking. I was like, oh, this was a very bad idea. I didn't realize, because I didn't realize at the time that you could take leadership and move up so fast in a political party that's been established. It's a big, it's one of our biggest parties. There's 2 big parties here, and be a zero at actual, with zero empathy, zero knowledge of the job. I didn't think it's possible to get there until he started speaking 2 weeks later. Then I was like, oh shit, I was tricked.
What do you mean? You didn't hear him speak during the campaign? And it was a long ass fucking campaign. It was like 70 plus days.
But he didn't say, he said stuff that showed me he was young, but he didn't say anything that showed me he was incompetent.
Like the books balancing themselves.
He said that after. That's what I'm saying.
No,
he didn't. He did. Because I remember the moment I even talked about it. I go, guys, I fucked up.
No, because Harper was attacking him during the campaign on stuff like that he had said.
No, he said the books, because they asked him, because he had some spending stuff, and they said, well, how are you going to balance the budget? And he said, the
I could be
budget's
wrong,
gonna
but I
balance
think he
itself.
said that before the campaign.
He said it after.
No, I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Okay.
He said, because I voted for him, and
I'll
then I
give you
made
the
fun of
benefit
that.
of the doubt. Maybe I hadn't heard it.
No, he had said it after, or maybe he said it before too, and I hadn't heard it. Then Mulcair had took over the NDP, which was under Jack Layton, was actually a great party. They were left, but they were socialist. But he was a dude, Jack Layton, that legitimately cared about Canada and cared about people. So he had
Very charismatic
very
guy,
charismatic,
Jack
and he
Layton.
had some good policies that would have helped people. It wasn't extremism, okay? So I was even leaning towards there, but then Mulcair started talking. I was like, this guy's a fucking retard.
Mulcair.
So he lost everything, and then it all started to go towards Trudeau. I was like, you know what? I want. And also at the time I was younger, I had fallen for the trap of. I was thinking about the war in Iraq and all that, and I had fallen for the trap of conservatives bad. Harper bad for Canada. I didn't know the economic policies that saved us. That's why we didn't get hit during the 2008 I didn't understand having qualified people doing qualified jobs, how much it helped us. I didn't get that. I just thought the media is telling me he's a bad guy. He's a fucking bad guy. So I voted for Trudeau. Then Trudeau got into power. He started to do shit that didn't make any sense. He started to say shit that didn't make any sense. Now, with taking people's rights away with women, he doesn't give a fuck. He says, we're never going to force people to take something that they don't want to take. He did. Now he's like, I would never force women to do with their body what they don't want to do. You did, and you are. Shut the fuck up. You fire women when they talk back to you. Shut the fuck up, bro. You don't care about anyone. So I've learned my lesson, which is why now if I vote, because I don't trust anyone, I'm only going to vote for people whose policies seem to better help the country, and that's as far as I can go. The rest, I don't care because I can't control that. They're all assholes. They're all scumbags. Whatever policy they can implement to alleviate the pressure off people, get more money in people's pockets, more freedom, less government intervention, I'm going to vote for that. That's what I'm going to go.
By the way, on that Supreme Court decision in the U.S., how do you feel about Montreal opening the door and saying the Valerie Plante came out and announced that, look, Montreal, the door's open. Any woman in the U.S. that wants to have an abortion.
It's called clutching your pearls. It's called virtue signaling because nothing changed.
What do you mean?
Like before that, were we telling people you can't get abortions here? No, we weren't.
No.
We weren't. So what is it's
always been legal.
It's a fucking odd thing to say.
Yeah, you're planting your flag saying, hey, by the way, over here,
yeah, but they
the
know.
door's
They
open.
know nothing. That's what I'm saying. Is it's clutching. It's just being like, right here, it's virtue signaling. Same thing. A lot of people protesting. Bro, they're protesting in states where it changes nothing, where it's still legal.
Yeah, California.
Yeah, it doesn't. Bro,
But California, it's 100% legal.
Yeah, and all this did also this other thing I found out is it pushed it to state. I thought it was becoming illegal. It's banned in the
same
U.S.
thing.
The way they would protest, the way they made it seem.
Yeah,
but it comes down now to states' decisions.
That's what it
And
is,
so
yeah.
the same states that had it have it, and the same states that didn't don't.
Yeah, it's just the states that don't allow it. The people that wanted to get, or the women that wanted to get an abortion in those states could always rely on the supremacy of the Supreme Court to overrule the decisions locally, right? So
But you wouldn't want to get it in a place. People that hate you or people that don't, it's not a procedure that's very simple. You should always go to people that want to do it or go safer. Don't take risks like that. Don't risk your life like that. That's crazy. You're gonna go find a guy in a back alley because it's no. Go where it's fucking safe and leave. Anytime you have to do a procedure, like the people that want to save money and they go to like Morocco and shit to do like important treatments and they almost die. Don't do that shit.
There was an interesting article I read. I can't remember if it was in the New York Times or I can't remember. And they were saying because the Supreme Court went back on this decision. I mean, this was back in the 70s. I think that they had Roe versus Wade. And they're thinking, if they go back on this decision, are they going to start looking at all the other decisions and going back on those things?
No, that's
they put an interesting spin because you're thinking. I mean, and again, I'm not for necessarily this decision, but were there other decisions that perhaps the Supreme Court made that weren't the right decision?
Yeah, of course. You're supposed to, when people bring it up to you, when they bring it to the Supreme
hold
Court,
on.
you should look at stuff and see why it was done when because here, first of all, the other reason, like Bette Midler she doesn't realize it because she's always tweeting. She's doing the worst.
Wait, you're following Bette Midler?
It's everywhere. I'm not following her. She comes up. It's been in articles because people like Bette Midler don't realize because they want to yap. They're hurting the cause that they think they're helping. Because also, like, you see that they decided for God, and she's saying, well, God didn't say this, God didn't say that. But this wasn't it wasn't a religious case. This was just a case of definition of where does your liberty end, and like they say,
Well, a lot of people
begins.
are playing into the God argument,
That's fine,
right?
but that's
the
not
religion thing.
but that's not the Supreme Court decision. So again, you're
No,
bringing
for
up
sure. No,
you're
I'm just
bringing
saying
up
that
arguments that don't matter.
And-
so then the people that are fighting against you, they're just gonna be like, okay, you're an imbecile. That's not what I was talking about. So you're losing. You're setting yourself up to lose your own argument. I hate it. I hate these extremes. They're like.
And also, I would like to address because you said, was this the right decision? Did they do other decisions, the Supreme Court, that was wrong? This decision isn't, it can never be right or wrong because they didn't make it illegal. They just gave it to the states. They can't be right or wrong what they did. You understand?
Well, it's right or wrong. I see what you're saying. But it's because on the federal level now,
They
they're
just
like,
took
we're
off
not-
responsibility.
No, on the federal level, they said federally we're against this. The states could decide for themselves, but federally we're against it. The problem is because federally it's illegal. You can now, even if you do it in a state that's legal, you could, if you wanted to, go after the either person performing it or the woman who got it, because technically they did something that's federally legal. It's like what they did in Colorado when weed became legal stateside.
Okay.
They were able to open up dispensaries and sell.
Okay.
They couldn't put their money in banks because they were federally governed because it was illegal federally, so the banks could seize their money. So now that's why I'm saying it's not that's right or wrong. It's just it opens up gray areas, and it's became more tricky. It became more tricky.
They made it more complicated.
Yeah, because you couldn't because if it was kind of in the gray area where it's not legal or illegal federally, it would be very hard for you to pursue people if they did something that's legal in a state. But now, just like the weed thing, there's cases that can be made. Be like, yo, she told me she was going on vacation and she killed our kid, and then I want to sue her. And the doctor allowed it to happen because she's from technically we're not even allowed to do that. So it opens up a gray area.
I understand.
That's where it starts getting it gets more complicated. That's why it's not just we're allowed or we're not allowed. The places that weren't allowed, they're still not allowed. It's because it makes it a bit
gets
more
tricky.
complicated.
It gets tricky because if indeed you traveled and went to a state that allows abortions, are you safe because you did it in a jurisdiction where it's permitted?
But
or
you're from
are
a jurisdiction
you not,
that it's not, and federally it's not.
Yeah.
So the guy could
like what takes importance? Where
Yeah.
you live or where you did it?
Yeah.
Oh, that makes a lot of sense now.
Yeah, so it's complicated.
Okay,
yeah.
now
Colorado
I'm-
had that problem with the weed stuff.
Hold
I
on.
knew that from Colorado from years because they were like, they made all this cash, these dispensaries, but they couldn't put it in the bank.
Now I can understand the outrage a little bit more.
Yeah, it
Now I can-
overcomplicated. But
now I can understand.
Yeah.
Now, okay, I understand
yeah.
a bit. Oh, okay, no, that's fucked
why
up.
I'm saying the only way is you have to meet common ground because right now it's both extremes. One is saying, I want to like it's not like the woman with the thing on her stomach. Fuck, she's like 8 months pregnant. She goes, "This is not a human." It's like, bitch, you shouldn't be a parent. That's too extreme. And then the other extreme is, it's not abortion is not contraceptive. Yeah. No one. If people are using abortion as a contraceptive, that's another fucking problem. Like it's two extremes.
But
That's
that's
not.
not,
What,
that's
Did
not
you
real.
see-
That's not happening.
Did you see those comments? Obviously, it's like the extreme side there against the decision where they're saying, okay, well now since you're telling women what to do with their bodies, maybe you
but
should.
you're not telling. But that's again.
Maybe you should ban masturbation, and every time a guy jacks off, you should fucking.
But here's the issue that's why it becomes a moot point. You lose the argument because the argument they're making is not that's where the gray area is, and people aren't talking about it. The argument isn't you can't do this to you. The argument is you can't do that to the thing.
Yeah,
Get it to
exactly.
the other entity. It's where your rights begin. That's what you should be talking about. So it should be like I said, a definition of when does a life begin? What are your limits? When you get to make things safer. If you're just arguing semantics of, my computer talks back to me, is it more alive than a kid? And you start arguing, you're never going to get, because you're just trying to argue the other person. You're never going to get to the only way is you get to a middle ground. You're like, look, it's needed for this X, Y, Z reason. So, and it's safe if you do it up to this point. So can we have this in all states? Let's say where it's not illegal if you do it for X, Y, Z reason in this place and that. That's how you meet a middle ground.
There's about a dozen states that went so extreme to like it's completely legal. That's fucked up. That is fucked up. Like even if it's a rape baby or incest, they're not allowed to abort
but
it.
that's what I'm saying.
That
That's
is fucked up, bro.
to say this is never like that's an extreme. That's what I'm saying. You can't negotiate when there's extremism. And also the people to say it's even if it's 9 months, if it's not out of me, it's not a human yet, I could kill it. That's another extreme, and you're gonna lose the argument with the other side because they're never gonna want to negotiate with you because you just said that a 9-month-old, an 8 points, whatever is not alive.
Yeah.
When there's 6 month people come out premature and they're fucking living.
Yeah, 5-6 months.
Yeah. So you saying that you're gonna lose the argument because the other people are gonna be like, okay, fuck this person. They don't care about human life, and this is about human life. So you can't be extreme. The second, even same thing when they go, oh, chicks who just want these whores want abortions because they instead of condoms. But that's insane. No, I don't think there's a huge percentage of women that are like, I don't need a condom because I'm gonna get abortion. That's an
not true.
absurd reality.
90% of the no.
That's an
No, I don't
absurd
think
thing
so.
to say. But that's the problem is that you do the extremes. You fight nonsense. You need to meet in the middle and be like, look, this is the reality. This is what's happening. This is what's safe and what's not. But they won't do it because again, people love fighting on Twitter. People love the extremes.
I want to talk to you guys a little bit about.
By the way,
yeah.
before we continue into the next story, the reason why I reacted before like that when I was looking at my phone, I saw, I think at this very moment, or yesterday.
Yeah. Oh, and also Kim makes a good point about if the woman doesn't want the baby, remember she's gonna make a terrible mother. Yeah. And there's also people who are willing to kill their children. We don't want more of those monsters around. But yeah, the late term thing I think is where it comes in. Doctors, if you could save it, maybe you should save it instead of crushing its skull at 6 months.
But here's the thing: even if I had a shittier life, let's say I don't know, I was beaten ruthlessly or whatever. Personally, I would still choose to have been born. You
You
understand
say
what
that
I mean?
now because you're born. Anyways,
Yeah.
it's super.
But in Canada, I think late-term abortions are illegal, right?
No, he was telling me the opposite, so I have no idea what's going on.
No, you're.
I think after 3 months you can't.
No,
Or
no,
4
no, no.
months,
You're
okay.
allowed. You're allowed. But I think at some point it becomes up to the doctor if they want to perform it or not.
That's fucking scary, bro.
I
I think at 3 months, I think at 3 months, the other reason is not even the argument of the other life. That's already one argument of, okay, it's a life now, don't do that. The other one is, bro, there's no way that's not dangerous for the, like, I think you're putting two people at risk. You're putting the
Yeah.
kid at risk because you're going to kill her, and you're putting the woman, either her future, like ovaries wise, you're fucking her, or, bro, death. It's fucking risky, bro. That's a fucked up procedure.
But to go back to
the
the
older the kid is, the bigger the kid is inside, the more dangerous it is for the broad.
Of course.
But I was reading, and I don't ask me to tell you what.
We say give it to an orphanage, but even that, man, like, it's,
No, but I was reading, and don't ask me to repeat what diagnosis there is, but there's a few things that happen, like in women's pregnancy, that require an abortion,
of
or
course,
else they die.
you
know
could
what I
kill
mean?
the woman, yeah.
So
You have to take the
yeah,
mother.
So like, what
unless
happens?
she decides, there's some mothers that go, fuck it, I'm out, take the kid. But that's a personal decision.
But you know what's crazy to me? We're arguing extremes when in reality 90% of the abortions happen within the first trimester.
So he
why
brought
are we
this
even
up,
arguing extremes?
But that's what I'm telling you. That's what the internet is. That's what even the arguments are. The
Well, no,
protest.
it comes
the
back to
argu-
what you're saying about what constitutes life.
Yeah. But I think the reason why they choose 3 months isn't just because of that. I think it's also because
In 3 months, it's a living being, guys. I mean,
Oh no,
no,
it's
in
the
3 months
women
of living,
that.
but I mean,
within-
I don't think it's only that they decide. I think it's also because, dude, if it's very like, no, they don't talk about this a lot, but it's not a easy procedure for
No.
like, it's psychologically one thing, but physically it's very dangerous for women, and you can't on principle be like, because everyone should have it. You can't just put millions of lives at risk, like women's lives at risk, but be like, yeah, it's cool, do it 7 months, whatever. It's not if you don't want to qualify, because that's religious at this point. If you don't want to see that it's a living being, that's just you being blinded by ideology. But then you're putting the lady at risk too. So there should be more education on this, I guess, too. But you can't just do the extremes of she wants to get an abortion.
Yeah.
It's because she doesn't know condoms exist, and that's crazy because you don't know what you don't know all the details of everything.
guys, let me talk to you about.
it just feels like states like Alabama. I was gonna say something stupid.
It's not even states, bro. It's
I was
it's
going
not,
for-
like
for a
people
joke.
blame the state and this and that. Now this was the Supreme Court did. It's just people in general. They stick their feet in something. There's no middle ground. Where the reality is, the only place we're gonna meet and move forward is a middle ground to understand. Why do you feel like this? Why do I feel like this? What's the subjective truth? What's the objective truth? Let's move into the middle and move forward. Because we keep mulching over the same shit and we fight while the government fucks us.
Yeah, but I feel like we have to address because the reason why I reacted like that earlier on my phone was because there's exorcisms happening. I think in Jerry Park.
Exorcisms
Exorcisms.
Listen, bro.
in Jerry Park.
Yes,
You've seen that?
I saw a video of it. Yes,
Listen,
I think or some kind of park in Montreal, bro.
His intention was to come in here with fucking pro-abortion stuff. Yeah. So is that your argument for pro-abortion?
Wait, what? No,
You don't want these demon babies coming
no,
back?
no. This is legit, bro. I saw a video, and this is someone we know, by the way.
No.
I swear to God, he took a video. He went to an event, and it was out in the open, a park. A friend of ours sent me this, where he's outside, and there's a lady having an
Getting
abortion,
exercised.
not having an abortion, getting exercise. Sorry.
I have friends that have seen this in a church.
This is outside, bro. Imagine you're a kid walking at the park with your parents.
I don't know. We're gonna get to this, but just so we could close the loop, because we
Yeah.
never closed the loop on abortion. Is that law didn't affect anything here? Also, I explained to you why it's touchy, why it's a gray area, why people are pissed, right? Because of the whole you could pursue people. But at the end of the day, all of this, because they're making it seem very simple. None of this is simple. Getting an abortion is it's not like, chicks that get abortions. They make it seem like they get abortion. They're like, all right, I killed the baby, and they're out. Bro, it's psychologically it's fucked up. Physically it's fucked up. Like it's not an easy thing. So don't oversimplify the whole. There's so much attached to it. Don't don't be a dick basically about this whole thing.
Yeah.
It's a complicated issue. Don't be mean
Yeah.
to people.
Let's move on.
Wait, I want to hear about the exorcism.
Oh, that's it. I saw that. I feel like that we should address that as a society. Why are
I don't even know
why
what
are
to say about it.
exorcisms happening in parks out in the open?
Why not? Where else are they gonna happen? We're not allowed to go to churches anymore.
It's
It's a matter of life and death, dude.
Yeah. So wait, this video shows what exactly?
basically,
Is it a public video?
yeah.
Why don't we watch
it's
it? It's on
someone's-
YouTube.
It's someone's story.
Oh, it's not on YouTube.
Yeah. There you go.
Then I don't wanna. I don't wanna put
exactly.
them on the spot.
Yeah, exactly. And it's the real name and everything. I don't
Oh,
know.
okay. And
Yeah,
someone
yeah,
I know.
yeah, that we know.
Well,
Yes.
Is it big sexy?
No. Oh, but I know why you went there.
Yeah.
No, it's
It doesn't matter.
Tell me later. I don't want to know now.
okay.
You don't know how to whisper in the mic, bro.
Yeah, don't. Yeah,
Okay.
no, I was gonna mute myself.
It's like
mouth it.
it's like
Kevin.
based on your record. This is what it is. Hey guys, I gotta go take a shit.
Yeah.
You whisper at the wrong time.
Yeah, I'm wanted for sex crimes.
That's just me dropping hints, bro. What are you talking about?
Yo, that's funny. And so he's telling a woman like, "Devil, be gone."
No. He attended an exorcism in a
spraying
park.
her with holy water?
It's basically like a bunch of black priests, and it's just. And it's
Do
just-
you feel it?
and it's
Do
just-
you feel the
it's a-
Holy Spirit?
I didn't listen to the audio because we're recording. But it's a white lady, and she's there, and she's shaking like this, like that, and then eventually, and then she falls, and they catch her, and everyone's cheering. Woo!
Maybe it's not an exorcism, man. Maybe it's one of those.
Nah. This
Maybe you misread. Maybe he said it was exercise in the park. She
No,
was
nah.
just stretching.
You know what?
No,
Hold on,
one of
I'm gonna
those
send you-
evangelist things, like you see on TV, where
Yeah.
it's like, "Oh, praise the Lord,"
Yeah.
whatever. And
Hold on, bro. You know
Can
what?
you feel him?
Go watch it
Can
right
you
now.
feel the power of the Lord, the power of love?
Go watch it on your
By the
phone,
way,
bro.
have you ever been to these churches?
Never.
To a church?
No, to a Baptist church or whatever where they sing.
Bro, I'm the biggest fucking black comedian in Montreal. What do you think?
Look, I'm gonna
I
admit one
love it,
thing.
man. We had gone.
You know
several
why?
times. I mean,
The
it's
vibes-
so cool.
the
Like, our
vibes-
churches are so serious, so like dark. And
Yeah, well, them
rushed.
they sing.
Everyone's
They're
sending
happy.
me home. Everyone's sending me the video at the same time because they're
Yeah.
watching the show. Okay, bro, that is a troubled lady.
I don't think that's Jerry Clark.
This is absurd, bro. This is too much. It's too much for me to handle.
Let me
Did you see it?
I saw it. Hallelujah. I saw it.
let me change topic, guys. I want to go to Russia because there's something happening that
Really?
is, yeah.
Nothing ever happens
Nothing
in
to do with
Russia?
aside from the Ukraine thing. There's an
Comrade,
American.
nothing.
By the way, I heard Zelensky in that meeting with the G7s or whatever a few days ago when he told them Macron and Trudeau and everybody goes, guys, you already know. I told you we need at least $2 billion a month so we could keep fighting the Russians. Bro, this all seems now to me like a proxy war of the West versus Russia.
It 100% is.
And we're just sacrificing the Ukraine.
Yeah, but we had established that, I think. In the
That's
beginning.
absurd, bro. Anyways. Okay,
No,
go
but
on.
look, there's an Olympic gold medalist that plays in the WNBA, Brittany Griner, who in the off season she goes and she plays, and it's I guess it's common practice. She plays for a Russian team.
Nice.
And she got arrested days before Russia invaded Ukraine because they caught her with capsules for a vape pen with hashish oil or whatever.
Okay.
So apparently it's illegal, and you can get up to 10 years in jail.
Okay.
So she's facing trial. It's today,
Okay.
or probably happened already with a time difference in Russia. And a lot of people are thinking that she got arrested unlawfully, and there's this whole thing, and there's
Sounds
negotiation.
lawfully. Sounds pretty lawful.
We don't know. That's what the Russian authorities say.
Okay,
we
I'm
don't
saying
know.
based on what you said, based on what they say, if it's illegal there, like you can't be
Yeah.
a dick.
But they're
Like
charging her.
if I go to Saudi Arabia, I make sure my wife doesn't fucking speak
Yeah, they're also charging her on drug
because
trafficking
I
and
want
all that
peace of
stuff.
mind, and it's illegal.
Well, I mean, look, drug trafficking and carrying drugs are two different things here, at least. I don't know how it is in Russia. So in any case, so there's a lot of people that are thinking that this, they're keeping her as a political prisoner, and there's negotiations to see if they can do a swap,
Like a
prisoner
swap?
swap.
We'll trade you one 3-point shooting lady for another.
But here's the other.
We want Dwayne Wade.
But yeah, here's the other thing now is that she's also gay. She's married. And that apparently is banned in Russia, where you can get in prison for, I think, more than 10 years. If
What?
Yeah. Openly gay people in Russia
Yeah.
can face jail time of, I don't know, 20 years or some shit like that. Some ridiculous thing like that.
Like as a reward.
That was a good one. I like that one a lot.
You're
there's
gay. I know how to help with that.
You should write that. You have to write
So
that.
there's that now in the equation. So I don't know how this is going to play out, but I just find it so messed up. I mean, the ideology that we have here, the openness that we have here, and we're so accepting of other people and cultures and all that.
Well, not really. We're accepting unless they're Sikh and they drive trucks and they don't want to get vaccinated. Then we're not accepting.
Forget about it. In general, I mean, you're not gonna run into someone here in Montreal that is like fuck gays or like, you don't see that. You might
You
have
want to hang out with me. Yeah, I haven't.
And to have the exact contrast.
Do you see it in Montreal? You're I
Not
can't
so
argue.
much,
You don't
man.
really
I mean, you have crazies that
That's-
are
but
like
that's
that,
everywhere.
but
That's
it's
forget
not
extremism,
But
yeah.
it's not common practice. Like it's not like the government telling you you're gay, you're gonna go to jail, buddy.
Yeah, no, we're a good city.
Like,
We're
it's
good.
crazy.
Yeah, we're welcoming.
It's crazy. So I don't know what's gonna happen with her. I feel bad, man, because she just wants to make a living. Obviously, they're not making enough money, the WNBA. So she's like, off season, I'll just go play in Russia. First of all, why the fuck would you go play in Russia? But whatever, that's where the money
What do
is.
you mean?
Or
That's where the money
they
is? There's a
hired her,
league.
she
Good.
went, and for her to be stuck in this sort of situation since February, you know what I mean?
Here's the thing. I am against political prisoners. So if
We don't know. Like, I mean,
If this
we're
is-
saying she's a political prisoner. The Russians are saying, look, she did something illegal. She's a drug trafficker. Dude, she's a basketball player, bro.
Yeah.
She plays for a Russian team.
Okay, yeah, they have to use reason. If they want to slap her in the wrist, be like, look, you brought hash. Clearly, it's for personal use. Pay, I don't know, your $2,000 fine. I'd be like, okay, whatever, that happens. But 10 years in prison for traffic, she wasn't there to sell. Like, how much money is she going to make by selling a cartridge of fucking hashish vape? Like, it's just, you have to use your judgment too. I don't like it when, again,
There
politicians.
is no judgment, which is why I'm leaning
But
more
judges here do
towards
the
the
same thing.
idea that
Political prisoner. But judges do the same
days
here.
before they invaded Ukraine,
But
it's like,
sometimes you'll go to court here, and you see the judge using zero reason. You'll be like, "Come on, man! Like use some judgment, you dumb bitch. I know what's written on but fucking use your common sense.
yeah.
But you fall on these sticklers. Yeah, that's how I call them, sticklers.
Speaking of Russia and the whole Ukraine issue and the fear
It's sorry.
Yeah.
For the illegal thing, it's jailing people for public displays of non-heterosexual orientation or
So, like,
gender
blowing dudes in public?
or gender identity.
how many years?
It doesn't say.
I'm sure you can look it up. I think it's over 20 years.
Usually, there's a fine.
How ridiculous is that, dude? You're holding your husband's hand or your wife's hand, if you're a woman, your partner's hand down the street. Bam, 20 years in jail.
You can have an
Or nothing gay ever happens.
additional penalty of up to 15 days of administrative arrest. Nothing says severe jail time.
Oh yeah,
Some
I read
people
some
That
jail
might
that.
be
Isn't-
that might be one of them internet rumors.
I heard there was, and I could be
Because it
wrong.
doesn't make any sense.
I remember back in.
Oh, you fucking. We caught you in an alley banging that dude.
So-
well, we're gonna take you. There's no dudes banging dudes.
I can't
So
remember
from
which
what I
conflict-
understand, it's publicly. They don't like it. They will, fine you and everything. But behind closed doors, you could do whatever you want, apparently.
Behind closed, you can do whatever you want anywhere. I'm just saying legally. I mean, I
I'd be okay with that if it wasn't for the fining. Like that's weird. You find someone
It is
for
weird. It is weird.
holding their boyfriend's
Yeah,
hand.
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know if you guys remember. This is early on in Putin's, when he first came into power. I can't remember which conflict it was. I don't know if it was Iraq or Afghanistan. In any case, he came out and he said, we're going to be allowing homosexuals to participate in our armed forces. He played it out as if it's like this big progressive thing that Russia was doing.
We're sending them out first
and
line.
it just so happened that it came in time when Russia was engaging war. They're like, yes, gays are going to now be allowed in the Russian armed forces, and we're going to send them in the first lines in, let's say, whatever. I think it was Iraq.
Yeah.
In Iraq, it's like fucking Putin assemble thousands of homosexuals, send them to fucking get killed in Iraq. Ridiculous.
Please call in the Rainbow Brigade.
Speaking of
They all
Russia,
come out pill.
Speaking of Russia, Ukraine, and that whole conflict, this week there was the NATO summit in Spain, where especially they discussed NATO expansion with Sweden and Finland. The reason why I'm bringing it up is because initially when NATO accepted the request from these countries to join NATO, automatically Turkey came out against them, saying no, they're harboring terrorists and
Finland known for terror harboring.
So they were playing hardball, and so finally this week they agreed. Turkey. There was an agreement. Turkey finally said no problem. So the NATO is going to be expanding in Northern Europe. Obviously, Erdogan had his criteria in order for that to happen, and he imposed on these countries to to extradite these terrorists back to Turkey. What he considers are terrorists. We don't know yet, right?
Aren't those like those political people and those
It's
religious people that are against him?
Yeah, it's people that fled. That and I don't think they're terrorists, but
Why are they terrorists? It was terrifying when they fled from my bullets. I was terrified.
Yeah.
Bring them back.
So, and there's some articles that I read that seems to suggest that there may be an agreement with the U.S. to reconsider selling the F-16s.
Yeah, I heard that there's a scandal
Or
right now
F-18s is
because they go Biden had the Greek prime minister in last month, and he assured the Greek prime minister they signed some treaties that the protection of Greece is very important and their allies, so they're going to look out for them. And then now he's talking about selling F-16s to Turkey, who is openly saying that they want to use weapons to attack Greece.
Yeah.
So people are like, hold on a second, dickhead, to Biden. They go, how do you promise on one hand you're going to support your allies, and on the other hand sell the people threatening your allies more weapons to kill your allies? Who's your ally? But you're yelling at Biden, but Biden, my friends, doesn't know what year it is, what country he's in. He's just saying, yeah, sure, F-16. But Greece is also in talks now. They're waiting to get approval from the Pentagon, I think, to see if they're going to sell us the F-35s, I think.
But have you also
ones.
seen Lord
And look,
of...
I watched Top Gun, bro. So
Hey, by the way, how good is that movie? It
was a fun movie.
Holy
I'm gonna
shit,
watch
it's
it.
I
like-
watched Top Gun. All I'm saying is if they're getting F-14s or F-16s and we're getting like the higher end 5th generation shit, we're gonna fuck their shit up, bro.
What?
We're gonna hire Tom Cruise
honestly,
to teach our pilots.
despite all the garbage that we hear on Tom Cruise and all that, Scientology and all this other weird shit, that
I will say one thing about Tom Cruise.
this guy knows how to make fucking good movies.
He knows how to make fun
Honestly.
movies, but two things about the Scientology thing. The Scientology, Xenu, all that, against complete nonsense. The not wanting to medicate people, though, he had a fucking point.
Not wanting to what?
The what,
To
sorry?
medicate, because his big thing
Oh,
that people
okay,
called
yeah.
him crazy is when he went on, he said, what's with these fucking
The youngster,
antidepressants?
to medicate the
yeah,
youth,
why are we
yeah.
giving kids, and everybody's like, look at this fucking asshole. Kids need antidepressants, and then kids
they
start
don't.
shooting up schools. I'm with him. We're over-medicating kids. So on that part, I'm with him. On the jumping on couches, also with him. Sometimes fun to jump on a couch. But goddamn, he knows how to make a movie.
Yeah, and did
And
you
make
know...
himself not look short.
But did you know, not just that, what I like about Tom Cruise in all of his movies, did you know he does all of his stunts,
all
like
his
the
stunts.
planes, he learns how to fly the planes, he'll learn how to do something, he'll
Dude,
learn
in
how
a
to...
lot-
Before
in
this
a lot-
movie,
Bro, it's fucking amazing.
So this is the first thing me and Mike noticed. Before the movie starts, it shows a thing, him talking,
Yeah,
hey
yeah,
guys,
yeah.
I prepared this movie. It's all real G's, real flights, and then the movie starts, and Mike's like, that's fucking weird. It is, because you don't see that before. Like Marvel movies aren't like, just so you guys know before this starts, these are not real wizards. Like they but him, he started before the movie's like, I want you guys to know this is real shit.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
these are real planes, which makes it funner when you
Yeah,
watch
yeah,
the
yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
He
Yeah, yeah.
set up camera. That's why I want to
No,
watch
but
it. I
you're
might
gonna-
go
you're gonna
tonight,
see it.
actually.
Dude, there's some sequences where you see their face kind of fucking
Yeah.
from the G-force.
The only thing I
incredible.
don't like is that they keep repeating like these are the best pilots in the world. I was like, the best pilots in the world are Greek, bro.
That's true.
Yeah. So, but no one ever gives us credit in movies. Did you know that we have the best fighter pilots in
Yeah,
the
of
world?
course, yeah.
No one knows this.
Well, in NATO.
Which includes the U.S.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, like dogfights, apparently we run circles around that.
Well, obviously,
but
they
that's
have,
what
they,
I'm
have
saying.
they have daily experiences.
Yeah. We're getting invaded daily.
When was the last time an American fighter had to,
But that's because if it was real Top Gun, they need a guy with experience. It would be some Greekster. The movie would be like that. It wouldn't be Tom Cruise.
So good,
It would be
though.
fucking
So
Nico,
entertaining.
Yeah.
You've seen the clips, right? You've seen the clips.
You have like a Nico Kokoroyanis, and he comes in, and like this. Listen here, okay? I tell you from experience.
Smoking.
He's
Your-
smoking while flying.
Your strategy no work. Sir, there's no smoking on the base. I have to smoke. Listen.
Coboloi frappé.
Yeah, Coboloi frappé. Listen, first I have to say, I'm very progressive, but your woman pilot go home. It's not for you here. It's not for you. Hani is not here, okay? Yeah, that's the first thing he would do. And then he'd be like, okay, Mexican, come here. You're like Spanish, come here. You're like me, come. I teach you how. No, I don't like the American boy. Very arrogant. I teach you how to fly trajectory to kill these Russians. We don't call them Russians. We know the movie is about Russians. Like,
Also,
it would have been funny.
also, bro, so you know how he's flying in the plane and it shows the G-force and he's
Yeah.
smoking in the plane, but the G-force only affects his face, but not the
Yeah,
cigarette.
you know how they're all like this? The Greeksters like,
The cigarette doesn't get affected. It stays lit.
Pobre malaca!
So good, so good. I told you guys this is weeks ago when because the Greece acquired some, I think French F-18s, I think what it was, and the Turks came out and said because they saw them. During exercise or whatever, and they're like, the Turks came out and said, "There's no way those are Greek fighter pilots. These are the French. The French are flying the Greek planes."
The Turks are unaware of like the NATO, even though they're in NATO, of the statistics of the fighter jets. Yeah. So the Greeks, the reason why we have the best fighter pilots in the world is because they're always we're wasting a lot of gas fighting the Turkish people coming in. But yeah, they're very, very good. And you know what? So I always find that strange. I guess it's from experience they got better. I understand why our Navy would be good because we're a seafaring people.
Yep.
Thousands of years, we know the sea.
But this is a historical fact.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
it's not now. I mean,
but I do find it impressive that our country has the best fighter pilots because that's not something. Flying is not like a Greek invention.
Well, I mean, have you seen Icarus?
good point.
Flying is not.
Good point. Good point.
He died.
Yeah, I know.
He flew too close to the sun.
But still, I mean, in terms of innovation, we were there. We were at the forefront.
It's true. We were.
Yeah.
You know.
Good point.
So I find it impressive, but it is funny.
Also, Hermes had little wings on his feet.
Yeah, there you go.
Flew.
Do you remember the Turkish fleet, the Turkish Navy when they got lost? Do you remember
submarine.
this? Yeah, the one also in the 90s when they got lost.
Oh,
like
no,
they're
I
not a good seafaring people because they're from the mountains of Mongolia. They never had that.
I just love how Greeks always innovate. Like recently, I think 2 years ago, when they sent a submarine to do some research or whatever, and the Greek submarines.
Hold on, if we would say Top Gun in Greek, would we translate it directly?
Κορυφαίο όπλο.
But would we use Oplo? Because Oplo
It's a weapon.
Would we say top weapon?
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't sound.
What are they
cool in
called?
Greek.
They have a word. The
Pistoli.
pilots.
Gun.
No. The Air Force in Greece. What are they called?
But Top Gun is for the top elite.
Remember.
But yeah, if you'd make a funny movie, you'd be like,
no, but back,
you'd be like this. Look, you'd be like this. Κορυφαίο πιστόλι. Ο Νίκος Κοκορογιάννης γυρίζει για μια ακόμη φορά να πάρει τον αέρα από τους Τούρκους. Like,
no, but remember a couple years ago when they were surveying the Mediterranean to drill or whatever?
Yeah. And they got lost.
And no, but the Greeks sent their submarine to
they started
disrupt. They were blasting the Beatles song.
They were blasting Beatles song, and then they go, "This is inhuman." The Turks go, "This is it," and they had to float up and go back home. Yeah,
they're so funny.
but it's funny. The Greeks are like, "How did you think we're not gonna know that you're in our waters? Like you're gonna come in stealthily? We have everything. We have submarines, fucking jets. Get out of here." I like how peaceful we are, though. Instead of shooting them down, they're invading. We're like, just leave. Here's some Beatles music. Get the fuck out of here.
No, but you can't do that, man. You're opening up a whole can of worms. If they shoot down a Turkish jet, a NATO ally, it becomes.
But why is a NATO ally invading our airspace? No one ever asked these questions.
Yeah.
You know what they're doing? They're doing like that shit kid in fucking high school. He's just insulting you so you can hit him. And then
bro,
you're in the wrong.
The U.S. and Canada are allies.
Yeah.
If Trudeau decides to send jets and take over Vermont, I guarantee you the Americans are going to start fucking shit up.
Yeah, I understand, but the way they're gonna try and play it, the Turks, they're doing the provocation like that. When we react, oh look, they're the bad guy.
Can you believe this guy shot me when I fucking broke into his house? It's fucking crazy.
Yeah,
they call you out
that's
for
what they're doing,
preemptive
yeah.
strike, and they use that as an excuse to move in.
So I think that's why the Greeks don't strike.
Great little update. Remember months ago when we were talking about that 14-year-old Arab girl who was shot accidentally? She was in a car and there was like a drive-by shooting and she
In Laval?
died. No, it was in Montreal.
Oh, this is
Remember
terrible. I
the-
remember it, but the fact that you're bringing it back up, bad on you.
She was parked in a car and there was some I think they were talking to some friends and there was a drive-by and the girl got shot and it was accidental. And
She died?
Yeah, she died.
Ah, that's not good at all.
You remember Miriam?
I don't wanna remember.
Miriam Bundawianis.
That's terrible.
Developments in that story, the police of Montreal and their whatever unit they call it.
She was a mafia leader.
No, because they couldn't find who did it. Nobody was talking. They had key witnesses that weren't fucking saying anything. And there's an article that was published.
How do you not cooperate? Even if I know the guy who did it, if he killed a 14-year-old girl, I'm fully cooperating.
But
I'm
here's
like, fuck that guy. I need him off the streets, bro.
But here's the thing, and they're not saying exactly what they did because apparently the Montreal police used these tactics that they have never used before. They consulted with Americans and some European partners, and they found I don't know what the fuck they did, but they found the people, and they appeared in court. So they caught the guys, and they're trying through them to get other people that are linked to to whatever, to the event. So at least there's some peace of mind for the family.
Do we know the identities or nationalities or any of the people that did it?
Yeah.
Tell me.
One of them is Salim Touaibi. So apparently he's another Arab. So I don't know if it was like a thing within the community.
Yeah.
I
Well,
don't
when
know.
we performed at a prison a few weeks ago.
Yes, that was a lot of
You
fun.
performed at a prison?
I did.
Which one?
We gave back in Sherbrooke.
Okay.
Yeah, we
Is
gave,
it one of those what's it called high or whatever?
medium security. What was
It was a mix.
It was a mix. Yeah, you had both. Yeah, a lot of jerking off in prison is what they told us.
Yeah.
A lot of jerking
Some
off.
people 24/7. That's kind of impressive.
That is impressive. Anyways, we found out that there's a crisis in Montreal that the media refuses to talk about because they don't want to sound racist.
Overcrowded?
No, I don't know why that would be racist.
I know what you're gonna
Yeah,
do.
in prisons and gang culture here. You know, overwhelmingly, who the most dangerous, fucked up gangs in and out of prison are in Montreal right now? Poseidon? These Islamic,
Yep.
Algerian, like, because they go to us, I go, are you sure? He's like, yeah, dude, no one wants to talk about it because it'll sound racist. He goes, they don't want to mention that it's hardcore Muslims. I go, they don't give a fuck about our laws. That's what he says. He goes, in prison, he goes, weekly. He even at Bordeaux here, he goes, they're scrapping it, they're trying to kill security guards. He goes, they don't give a fuck. They indiscriminately shoot. He goes, so all the gangs and all the mafia and the bikers, they all had a code of ethics.
Yep.
So we knew how to deal with them.
Yeah.
These guys don't give a fuck, he goes, but we can't mention it.
And their
because
numbers are growing, I'm assuming.
growing,
Yeah.
and they don't give a fuck.
They don't have a code of ethics.
They don't have a code. They'll get up in like I don't know, in a crowded restaurant and be like, fuck this guy. He goes, but they
Yeah.
can't talk about it. He goes publicly because everyone's scared to look racist. And I was like, what? This is insane.
incredible.
But he goes,
hearing
yeah, it's a
that-
whole new culture. He goes, we call it gang. We don't know how to frame it. He goes, but there's no
Because it's not really a gang, it's just their.
bunch of people that know each other that do criminal shit. But he goes, their code of ethics is completely. He goes, they don't give because they don't they don't respect. And then he said about women. He goes, and they don't fucking give a shit about women. He goes, like the stuff we've seen. I was like, holy shit, this is crazy.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah. He goes, it's a weird situation. He goes, because it's before we were able to talk about it in public, like when the mafia was doing shit
Yeah.
or bikers,
Yeah.
and publicly people would be like, yeah, so you'd feel the pressure. He goes, people can't mention this. He goes, because it looks optics, it looks bad. Crazy. Yeah, extremists. We have extremists.
Yep.
I told you.
I'm
the
not
con-
happy about it. I'm saying it joyfully in the sense that it's crazy. I
Well,
didn't expect it.
you
Oh,
know,
100%.
You know that there's
This
that.
makes me want to fucking.
Jorge
Terry?
says, shout out to the team. Happy Canada Day. Sorry, just tuned in. Was a busy morning for Mr. Rosales. Have a great weekend. And I'm going to watch the Minions movie. I don't know much about the Minions, but I saw the commercial before
love the
Top Gun,
Minions.
and it looked like a lot of fun.
I love Steve Carell, man.
Yeah.
But back to the
To the Muslims.
They also sound like this.
Back to the Muslims.
The minions.
I have a minion voice now.
No, you have the pitch up. You sound like a chipmunk. The chipmunk voice. Hello.
yeah, no. You guys remember that mosque in Park X that was
The ISIS mosque?
I think they're still monitored by the
The ISIS one?
RCMP and the FBI.
No, it
and
was
they're
the
all
Al
in there.
Qaeda mosque.
Yeah, the Al
Yeah,
Qaeda
I
mosque.
remember that. Yeah. Me and the boys used to laugh about that when we found out. We're like, wait,
It's a beautiful mosque, by the way. I've been inside.
we're like,
and,
shouldn't we be warned? Like it wasn't like they talked about it in the papers, but it wasn't like, yo, be careful. We walk by there all the time.
Nah.
Yeah.
but there's nothing to worry about, man. Honestly, you can
No,
walk
they're not
by.
gonna do anything at the mosque.
It's,
It is funny though that we had ties to Al Qaeda. That there's something hilarious.
it's alleged, or else they would have closed it down. It's just that they caught 2-3 individuals suspected of conducting a terrorist act in the U.S. that had gone to that mosque before that to pray or whatever. So,
To get information on the next mission.
so I mean, look, they're making a link. Okay,
Yeah.
and again, I've been to that mosque. I know
You think
a
the
lot.
mosque is nice? You know, we have nice in Park X, the big temple close to where you used to live.
Oh, the Gujarati temples.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah, of
That's
course, I've been there.
badass.
Oh,
Beautiful.
yeah, that's dope.
That's
I'll
dope.
have some pictures.
I like their parades, eh?
Indian parades.
Indian parades. You know what they
You
do?
know why you like them? Because they're
Wh-
colorful
Which
as
one?
fuck.
Oh no,
No,
you're
not
talking.
just
No,
that.
no, you're talking about the religious unity parade.
No, where they throw paint at each other,
Oh no, okay, that's the
like
Diwali.
water paint.
Yeah, that's
But also
holy. Is it
also
holy or
because
Diwali? It's holy. I think.
they do these crazy dances with swords and shit, which is
Yeah,
fucking
that's
cool.
badass.
You're talking about the religious unity parade. This is an incentive. I think I
Hold
was
on.
in it and I saw you on your balcony once
You know what?
Yeah.
Can I say something about that?
because it passed right in front of where you used to live.
Yeah, yeah,
You-
yeah. Well,
we
and
should talk
also,
about this. They do cool shit, choreographed dances, and which is enjoyable to watch.
it's a cool culture.
Our parade is fucking boring, bro. We just walk in a straight line. Let's do something cool.
Also,
Yeah, it's very military parade.
yeah, it's
another-
very military, bro. We're taking over Quebec. Like,
It
let's
should
do
be like
something.
the Pride Parade, where everyone, or
another-
the St. Patrick's Parade, where everyone
The
is just
Greek parade, the
partying.
Pride parade. Some people will tell you same parade.
Also, another thing that they do at the end of the line of their parade, you have people handing out pizza and fruits.
Yeah, they're feeding
Which
the
is
people.
fucking amazing.
Honestly, though, we gotta step up our fucking parade game, bro. We're boring as shit.
Bro, they're handing out food, bro. They're like,
If
and
you
they're
give-
like,
I'd
thank
rather,
you
in
for
terms of
watching.
enjoyment, I'd rather be at the Indian parade. In terms of enjoyment.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty
Pride
cool.
wise, I'm Greek, so I'll be at the Greek parade. But
Yeah, 100%.
enjoyment wise, the Indian one is fucking 50 times better.
They should. I think they should find ways of making it more inclusive. You know, kind of like anyone can participate in the St. Patrick's Parade. Like they have all these organizations,
Yeah,
all these groups that
everyone's
want to
getting
go, and you know what I mean.
But go back to, you said you were going to Al Qaeda mosques.
Oh no, I was just saying that. I remember back when, I mean, I think it's still monitored. I remember once we had a meeting with the leader of the, I don't know what his official title is, but he's like kind of the president of the Muslim Council of Quebec.
Yeah.
Okay, so he pretty much controls all the mosques in Quebec, and
With an iron fist, or is he lenient?
no, he's a well. I don't know. I mean, if you look at the Quebec media, he's been in journal like they have him as an extreme kind of guy. But
Oh, he's an extremist.
that's what they look. I never sensed that he was.
Is he open to interviews?
Yeah, I
Let's
think
bring
so.
him on he speaks French or English?
He speaks both, I think.
Let's bring him on a podcast.
He was supposed to come on my podcast, but I've been trying to get him on, but he hasn't. And it's whatever. It doesn't matter.
I mean, we're on watch lists already, so it won't change
But
much.
I mean, look, his mandate obviously is to protect Islam and that religion. So there's certain elements of Islam that we know that we've spoken about that we're not obviously in favor of that he protects. And in any case, but he had called us
Wait,
once.
what do you mean?
What do you mean about women's rights and all that, like the veil and like Bill 21 about the religious headscarves and the religious symbols.
I'm against that too.
He was in that wave of contesting it, and before that, when the liberals passed Bill 60, whatever it was, 60.
Yeah, I'm against that too. That's fucked up. Leave people alone. Stop.
Or
What do you
59,
give a
whatever
shit
it
about
was. I
it?
can't remember. In any case, he had invited us. We wanted to, we called a meeting with him once, and we went and he invited us over there, and we walked in there, and it was just like, I didn't know if I should talk. I was like, shit.
Like,
fuck.
you're not a lady. You can say whatever you want.
No, I know, but I was like, are we being listened to right now? Is it
Oh,
being
that's what you meant. You were being
monitored?
monitored.
You know what I mean?
He walks in. He's like, we're monitored. Don't say anything stupid. Don't say anything stupid. Don't say anything stupid. Yo, you guys want to blow up the parliament? God damn it, why that?
But that temple that you're talking about on Hutchison,
That's
the Rosh, it's Hutchison, yeah. It's the Gujarati temple. It's
That's
really beautiful.
Yeah,
So that's
bro.
Doroshi.
It is the Rosh. It
Yeah,
is,
it's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful. I'll show you some pictures from inside. It's beautiful, beautiful temple. A great community, the Gujarati community.
But the Indians are pretty badass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a specific sect of, in India, they're called the Gujarati. It's all the Patels, basically.
Yeah, yeah. I like the
It's all-
Patels.
it's all Patels.
Patel's good peeps.
This is a sad thing to finish on, but did you guys see in Texas, in San Antonio, that truck that it was illegal migrants? They were carrying
No, what
South
happened?
Americans, Mexicans, on people from Honduras and from Uruguay, I think. I can't
So
remember.
the
where.
sad news is that
They're all dead.
Oh fuck! I thought the
Yeah.
sad news was that more Mexicans were going to the States. I was like, that's a weird fucking.
And you know, no.
They
And
caught
well,
him
that is
and-
sad news as well.
Wait, they were
What?
in the truck and the truck crashed.
No.
They I don't know if they
They were-
abandoned them
okay,
or
I know the
it's-
full story on this. I read it.
Okay, let's listen to him.
They basically were carrying a dead. They were already dead. They were carrying dead migrants in a truck. And in
Why
order-
would you do
No,
that?
they were
I don't
dead.
know why. No,
they
they were
were-
already dead. Hold on. And in order to mask the scent of corpses, they covered the truck in spices. They threw spices in it. So
Why would you carry a bunch of
I don't know.
corpses?
I don't know what the reason was.
No, they
but-
weren't corpses. They left alive trying to get into the U.S. and they died in a container.
And I guess then after they stopped and covered it in spices.
Why
don't
don't you
know.
just get rid of the bodies?
I don't know.
It's
but
true, eh?
This is horrible. Horrible.
Which
First-
part? Like the strategy of hiding the smell?
No. The human trafficking thing is.
Well, I mean, they weren't trafficked. If they were being trafficked, they would have been alive.
Well, the intent was to smuggle them into the U.S. So a lot of these
So
people
I'm
think-
hearing both of you, and I'm going to make my own story. This is what I think happened from what you guys told me. Migrants were trying to illegally enter the United States,
Yes.
but they probably got suffocated in the truck. This is from what I'm hearing from you guys,
Yes.
but you both could be completely wrong, and it could be something else.
No, that's exactly.
Because the way
we
he
don't,
made
we
it
don't know if
sound,
they suffocated or if
he
they
made it
were.
sound like a death cult that they're just sharing corpses, and you made it sound like they were just trying to travel freely, and they ended up dead. So I'm meeting you guys in the middle, and it sounds like they got suffocated.
I'm sorry, it was a myth that was debunked. I'm sorry, there were no spices involved, and they just died on their way. I think they
What
suffocated.
they don't know yet is if they boarded these migrants from Mexico or if they picked them up in the U.S. and they were trying to take them somewhere else. That's
Hold on, where was this truck in San Antonio?
San Antonio, Texas.
By the way, I googled.
So hold on, so they were already in the U.S. when they found the dead bodies?
Yeah,
They're in the U.S. They got stopped in Texas.
They got stopped.
The truck. They stopped at the.
Why did they stop the truck?
I don't know. I don't know. They were dead inside.
the
I don't
way,
know how
I
they figured it
googled.
out.
I
But hold
googled.
on. Why did they? Because what I'm saying is they got at the
Oh.
border. They didn't get stopped at the border.
No,
Well, that's why it's not clear if they crossed the border with them inside, or if they picked them up in the U.S. somewhere and they were carrying them
Maybe
somewhere
murder
else.
most foul. Maybe they were like a gang-related killing, and they were trying to get rid of the bodies.
This is here. While it's not clear when or where the migrants boarded the truck bound for San Antonio, Homeland Security investigators believe it was on U.S. soil near or in Laredo, Texas.
I think what happened. They made it through. They realized they were dead, and then they just abandoned the truck.
No, they didn't
I think.
abandon. He says that they were stopped. No?
The truck went through Border Patrol, blah, blah, blah. It was registered in Alamo, Texas, but had fake plates
Oh.
and logos.
Hold on, I found a cry for help from a tractor trailer found abandoned on the outskirts of San Antonio.
Oh, they
Texas.
abandoned it.
Yeah, that's what I said.
It's kind of a dead giveaway.
Dozens of bodies. Wow.
Dozens.
Bro, the 53 total.
53
as of
bodies,
yesterday,
yeah.
53. That's sad. It's honestly sad. And
Oh. There
doesn't
were
sound like
100. There were 100 migrants traveling, so half of them are alive.
Oh fuck.
some made it. Yeah.
Some made it, so basically 47 of them. And
Suffocation.
apparently, they were all covered in spices, steak spices.
Delicious.
And what's funny is I googled
So
truck.
are you trying to say that they were trying to sacrifice them to someone that
Maybe
eats humans?
Well, what I find funny is on Google, I googled truck with migrants covered in spices, and it's giving me recipes for shawarma. It's giving me shawarma recipes, which is hilarious.
So what you're saying now is that they were gonna these were like elites that were trafficking these humans to eat them.
Quite possible, yes. They have a taste for that Mexican meat.
Very suspicious. But he said there were all kinds. He said there were Argentinians there.
No.
Then they have taste for that South American meat.
That's fun. What a
from,
weird story.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
The spices, it throws you for a curveball because you'd think it's simple. It's a trafficking case. They suffocated.
Well,
Why were they covered in
now
spices?
I'm
Why
reading-
why was the truck abandoned?
First of all, it's crazy to get these kind of stories, but at the same
Yeah, it
time,
sounds like cartel stuff.
immediately when I hear about these things, I just imagine being in the shoes of these people who legitimately probably would just want to make a better life for themselves. Like, you know what? Look, this is the opportunity. This is what we're being offered. We got to do it. You know. So
Could
they're
you
being
imagine
stuffed in a
experiencing
truck.
that?
You know, like the same case. Remember when all those Syrian refugees were crossing the Mediterranean and they were drowning, and it's like, God damn, man, people like the extent to which they will go to have
To get
a
away
better
from
life.
Turkey
You know what I mean?
is extreme.
No.
I get it. I get it.
anywhere in the world. In that case, I mean, yeah, it was their country, but even Mexicans, you know, I don't know, you know,
We don't know the full story, George. We might find out those were all pedophiles that were murdered.
100.
I keep seeing that the steak spices,
He's sticking to the spices, bro. This guy.
You're the
was
one throwing me for a curveball because the spice might not even be real, and
Well,
that's
I
what's
keep
fucking with my
reading.
head.
Some places, some articles say it's real. Some articles say it's not.
It sounds like they don't want us to know the truth that there is some kind of man-eating cult.
It's quite possible because
Associated
they
with
were
the
locked
story.
in the trailer. They just left them. They didn't, because if this was, here's the weird thing:
I can't believe I
if they abandoned the truck, right? If they abandoned the truck and this was to cross migrants, wouldn't they, after they abandoned the truck, open the doors to let the migrants out?
No, of course not. You fucking let them all die. You get rid of the evidence.
Well, there's a lot of evidence when there's 100 migrants
you
dead on
got
a truck.
paid. You got paid to.
Yeah, but if they get caught and they're alive, right? And they could, in a lineup, if they have you, they could be like, CC, this is the guy that drove us. But if they're all dead, no one's talking.
I see what you mean.
Did you guys hear yesterday the federal minister of health, Jean-Yves Duclos, did a press conference on the status of our vaccines and the potential new wave coming in.
Potential new world. We're
the
starting with
fall.
the fear mongering again.
But he came out and said, you know, being fully vaccinated
What does that even mean?
That doesn't mean anything.
This is how incredible it is, because he's saying certain things that either contradict themselves or
Fully
just
vaccinated
plainly
is
don't
an
make
IQ
sense.
test at this
He
point.
said the idea of being fully vaccinated against COVID-19 doesn't work any longer, and it has to be replaced by being updated with vaccines. So I don't know what the difference is, and I don't know, because remember,
Then it's not a vaccine.
because he's thinking, look, it's not necessarily about being fully vaccinated, but being updated, and they're thinking that you need to be vaccinated in windows of 9 months. So if you've gotten any sort of vaccination within a 9-month window, you should be fine.
What if you caught it within that window?
Yeah, that doesn't,
But that's better than a vaccine, scientifically speaking. Oh, but science doesn't matter.
If we were to trust the
the
science.
only thing that you're reading all these articles and you're just thinking, okay, these guys, I don't know what they know, what they want to prepare us for.
They don't know anything.
But
They're preparing
it's
for more
why,
lockdowns.
Why are you perpetuating this fucking thing, man?
Anyone who doesn't
Kind of like
see
the ArriveCan app. I don't know if you've been following that.
nonsense.
It's ridiculous. Like they're moving forward in implementing that permanently. Like you're traveling, you need to have an app. Like fuck that shit, man. Why do I need an app to travel? I have my passport.
Yeah.
Let me get on the fucking plane. Controlling people because of either you're registered or not, and
We fell for it. We fell for the trap. We as a society.
Yeah, because we're all fucking dummies.
Yeah, our boy Carl Schwab is winning.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna play us out on that.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, happy Canada Day. The Canada that we may not be at our best right now, Canada, but hey, we voted for it. So we reap what we sow. Patreon.com/Pantelis. We're going to be alive there up until this government bans us from fucking everywhere. You can check out our friend George Jiggity Chandrizos. He's got a podcast that is not politically incorrect. It is called Just Us Dads. A bunch of daddies losing weight, talking about having children in the 21st century. Digital media, cellular telephones, iPads, helicopter landing pads, all kinds of things that kids are up to today. Just Us Dads. Episodes out weekly. The Poseidon is online as The Poseidon69, Twitter and Instagram. He's also on Twitch, twitch.tv/ThePoseidon69. You can enjoy his antics right here in 1 hour. New episode of In Bed with Poseidon comes out on this very channel and on all audio podcast platforms. Pantelis.com for my stuff. If you are a real Canadian and you are bilingual and you're in the city next month, I will be performing at the Juste pour rire Comedy Festival, just for laughs in French. I got 2 dates for my 1 hour. That's July 21st and the 23rd. And 1 date for the French version of The Nasty Show, Les Rebelles. That is the 28th of July at 9 o'clock in the PM over at Place des Arts. Links to all that stuff are on my website or on my link tree, or I guess in the description somewhere. If you just follow one of those links, they'll take you there. So thank you guys. Be safe out there. Try your best not to hate your neighbor, and go fuck yourselves.